All right. So listen, this is the first installment to the Ooh, ladies first panel that we doing. Okay. And listen, I could see that there are a few of y'all in here, but not nearly enough for my liking. So we gonna sit and we gonna wait for a second for y'all to come in. And then when I see y'all coming in, then we'll talk. Until then, we gonna give y'all a second. Did you like the video though? Did you like the video though? I need more y'all in here and I need more people liking this video before me and the girls come out. Okay. Like I need to feel the roar of the crowd out this bitch. Okay. If I could, I'd be playing over. Get y'all asses in this room, okay? I need to see 200. I need to see 200. Where y'all at? Tell y'all people. We gonna wait. We got a little time. We gonna wait. And just like that, we reach the goal. All right. Ooh, ladies first, ladies first. Hey,
It's time.
Yes, I'm so excited, you guys. How are y'all doing tonight?
Good. How are you and everybody?
Good. I'm super excited. I actually saw somebody in the comments say Trey Songz, and I got super excited. Like,
oh,
that's definitely something for a ladies panel, right?
I better never know my name. Listen,
the hammer of it all.
Listen, the elephant trunk of it all. Like,
oh my god.
Listen, I wasn't even gonna start there, but shit, we let y'all wait long enough. We 30 seconds in, so let me just go ahead and say. Listen, when it flopped, when she picked it up and it flopped, my heart jumped. I didn't know what to do.
I was scared. I backed up from my phone.
I looked close. I was like, what's that?
Yeah, I'm with JayLees. I was like, ooh.
No, I said,
okay. Listen, I haven't felt like that since I saw my husband dig for the first time. I was just like, oh, wait a minute. I'm catching feelings.
You know, a whole shock into the system.
You know, listen, and as listen, a lot of y'all already know, but I'm bisexual. So I ain't never been one to get all excited about peen. But as I've gotten older, some things have changed. Hilarious. And I'm just going to say that even one that I don't really want because it looked like it might hurt me too much, they still be pleasing to the eye, boy. I tell you that.
Because it did look painful but enjoyable, and it was pretty but also a little bit dirty. Like you know how to do some things. He was like, "Oh, he can do some things with that," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I remember you." So it was like it was a remembrance of it all. Because
this all made sense to me. I was like, "This is why he acts like that."
That is what I thought.
Big energy.
That was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, "Okay, so it's justified." This
Yes, and the fact that people still be like, my mind instantly went back to that clip of him right before he like got the cop in the headlock, where it was like, man, fuck out of this shit, man. Like, that right there, that told the story we just didn't know. So once we knew, when I go back to that, I was like, DE.
It all makes sense. Because he calmly put a cop in the headlock and then said, I said, oh, he keeps control of things. He's very controlled within his body.
It's important to be in control. I say this all the time. You can have you can have a meat out this world, but if you can't control it, if you can't hold it down, then that's what hold it down really mean, okay? I want them to stop using it in the wrong context. When I say hold me down, okay, I mean not moving too much when you're laying it down. That's what I mean. Anyway.
That's where it starts today.
Yeah, that's where we gonna start.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna ask y'all this and then we're gonna move on. Have y'all ever had something of that magnitude? And if not, what was the closest to it? I'll let Necey go first and then I'll go last. We'll do it like that.
See, I looked up like, who gonna go first?
It goes in a circle.
I would say, honestly, yes. When I saw it, I had some sort of like PTSD. I was like, whoa. And that always makes me think about, you know, Brianna says in her song, 5 fingers on it, 5 fingers. This one, I like, can I say this? Go ahead. Can I say it? I counted 10. So 5. So once I saw that video, it just brought back current memories, actually.
Were you okay after?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It just takes a couple goes for you to get
a lot of head first.
Yes, a lot.
Yes.
Look at Jami.
Listen, Jami, I don't be talking about all this, so I really want JayLees to go first. So I can just, you know,
what is it? Because
she goes. I want to know.
I'm the oldest.
I want to know because JayLees like jail, you know, meat. So I want to know, like.
Please tell me. My short answer is yes. Yes, I definitely had sizes bigger than Trey. You know, God is great. God is good.
All the time.
Definitely, when I saw that, I definitely wanted to hop on my man. So I will definitely, I'll say that. But I'm ready for JayLees' story, though.
You know, in my old age, you know, I've lived a long life. And I've experienced many things. The first guy that I actually had sex with was that size. So I have been frightened. Yeah, the first guy, his name was Jamal. That's a simple black name. And it was, but see, he didn't know what to do with it. So I was like, I don't want one that big no more. Then I got older in my 20s. And I was like, oh, you know what to do with it at the right time, so it made more sense. And I've just been by the life. I'm about that life. I don't, you know, you want something that fills you up, but you want more. And that's what I feel like Trey songs give. He has a lot, and you be like, yeah, give it all and give you some more, and he probably be whispering and shit. That's not, you know.
Don't talk to
the whisper.
Don't talk to me. Listen.
Don't talk to me.
Listen. Okay. So I'm gonna say this. It was about what and what. The one that I'm thinking of was about what and what. And to tell you the truth, he was a pillow princess. It was like he thought because his meat was so big that he didn't have to do anything. Wow. So I will say that sometimes that's not always the best, but Trey looked like he was in it to win it. But I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say like the next largest in my mind. That was my first. And he just liked to, you know, I'm not gonna say he didn't know what he was doing. I'm not gonna say that at all, because we were together for like a number of years after
so he knew something.
He knew something. I'm gonna just say that I think he knows it's a hammer. You know what I'm saying? You know how they know it's a hammer, so they just be beating shit up, and it's like, you know, bring it back, sir.
Like, calm down, sir. Hold up, sir.
Wait a minute.
Because I'm married, I'm gonna circle back around and bring this back to my husband. That's why I like my husband so much. Okay, because Lyric is one of those people that he learns you to the point where it's like you don't have to say certain things. And he just knows when certain things are about to happen and when those things are about to happen, and he knows how to make things end up at their desired location. I'm gonna put it like that. I'm trying to be classy based about this because this is my husband I'm talking about. Y'all need to know all that. But I am an oversharer, so I'm going to say that at the end of the day, the biggest dick doesn't always supply the most orgasms. I'll say it like that.
That is very true.
That's true.
That's the honest to God. I think some of these men think if they big you, and like sometimes the noise we make is not even like, oh, we're there. It's because if you hitting a hole with a hammer, like it's gonna make some knocking noise. Like you make a noise. You know what I'm saying? So I do think some guys should know, like, you know, try some different things, try some different strokes.
Things,
you know, like me and my because we joke about you have to split up the stroke. You got to have like some slow strokes, some medium strokes, some long strokes. You can't just, you know, long stroke for 10 minutes. No, slow it down.
You have got to have a rhythm. Go in and out of phases. I'm a quick, slow girl to be. I love me a quick, slow. Okay, which is
faster.
Fuck you up real quick and then slow and then smooth that thing out. We gotta change the subject just in case it's okay.
But you
know that's what this is for. So ultimately, like,
do that thing.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, ladies, we're gonna get into this next topic, okay? And we've all been like talking about this, but I watched Lovely T's video and we have new information today, so I wanted to bring it to you guys, the Gorilla Glue girl. And I'm leaving this picture up for a second, but not too long, because I didn't realize that the whole post kind of like fashions her face behind like a gorilla, and I'm not a fan of that of that depiction of black.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize that. But Lovely T basically put it out there, and y'all, I made some notes because I wanted to make sure that we talked about specific things with this situation. Okay, first of all, the Gorilla Glue girl went to the hospital where she lives and refused services because it was going to take 20 hours versus the 3 days I believe it took for that doctor in Beverly Hills to perform the surgery for free after he paid for her to come to Beverly Hills. That hoe wanted a free vacation. Then her lawyer says that Gorilla Glue should have given her a sponsorship deal. Bitch, for what?
For what?
No.
Exactly.
And
they believe that they can sue because it doesn't say hair on the bottle. It says eyes, it says clothes, it says inside your mouth. But because it says not on your skin, but because it doesn't say on your hair, they're believing they can use that, that slant in wordage in order to try and get some paper out of these people. And I just kind of feel like, first of all, I hope that Gorilla Glue, does what they're supposed to do and knocks this shit out. But Lovely T was saying she feels like they might go ahead and settle just because they don't want the headache. But I feel like, no, I will fight this whole just for everybody else who might have to go through this with you clout chasing people online that want so badly to be famous or get you a little check that you will put yourself in harm's way for it.
Absolutely.
Okay. But all with that, and then coupled with the idea of the depiction of this black woman with this gorilla, on the bottle, and the way she, her eyes are bucked and things like that I wasn't even paying attention to, because of course I'm a black person. I'm not going to correlate a black woman with the gorilla. On the bottle. Like, I'm not even going to think of that. But you never know how white people who are always trying to laugh at black people, how they may put things on their sites or how they may put things on their news stations because of the correlation that they drew. So, I wanted to see how y'all felt about that.
See, I heard she doesn't have a lawyer. But I also heard that she did turn down the service, like what you were saying. So I think if anything, she was definitely trying to get some coin from this in some way, shape, or form, i.e. all the copyright claims that we've been seeing people get on YouTube. So I think she's trying to get coin that way. We know she's verified. She got the GoFundMe when it was people who could do it for free. I just think she's foolish, but I do think that Gorilla Glue may just settle because they really held back even making any sort of statement, which I don't think it was necessary for them to, because she was foolish enough to do that. If they made a statement, that would have positioned themselves adjacency right to the foolery. So I think Gorilla Glue is handling this the right way, and if they settle, it's their loss for a fool. She won.
Yeah, I don't want them to settle with her at all. It definitely makes sense as to why they did put the statement out there, because they really were getting a lot of pressure from people to make the statement, which kind of makes sense. If they do settle, is because they'll be getting the pressure from the people. So it's like Bondi said, we don't want the headache, so let us just go ahead and pay for that. But I feel like they have more of a case than she does, because when I was like looking on Google and stuff, what I saw is that hair is a different layer of skin. So if they get the right dermatologist and the right attorney, they actually have more of a case, in my opinion, than she does. And a judge will dismiss this because of her own negligence. She is a school teacher, from my understanding, and you're 40 years old. So why did you not take the time out to actually read the contents that you had? You know what I'm saying? Before you just spray this product on your head. And then just all of her actions that took place afterwards. You know, you waited a whole month before you saw somebody. Everybody and their mama was trying to explain to you how to go about getting this stuff out of your head, off your head, but I guess she didn't want to pay for it or whatever. So shout out to the Black doctor that was able to help her with that. But I will say this: I think her overall thing was clout chasing. I think it was very stupid of her. But I also will say, I'm not going. So I saw a lot of. Let me go back. I saw a lot of people complaining about her selling her photos to TMZ. And getting money for that or whatever. But I'm like, I'm not gonna knock her hustle in that sense. If she asked y'all on her GoFundMe for $1,800 and y'all decide to give her $18,000 extra, that's not her fault. That's y'all fault. And when it comes down to I forgot what I was gonna say. But as far as the lawsuit, I feel like the lawsuit, I think, should be thrown out. But as far as how she's going about getting her money, it's her property. If she wants to go out and sell it to TMZ, that's on her. People doing their OnlyFans and getting funded for it. So if that's what she wants to do, that's fine. However, I just think she shouldn't get no money from the company on that behalf because of her own negligence.
I agree too. I think a video she did on someone else's channel, and I did hear her say that she wasn't trying to sue. I feel like she wanted to sue. She thought about suing. She talked to someone about suing, and when word got out, she thought, okay, let me not do that because it makes me seem like I was doing it for clout. The fact that her hair is now clean of the stuff, the doctor was able to get it out, I think that's great. She needs to not go sit down somewhere and just leave it alone. Like, you got 18 grand from a GoFundMe. The doctor deserved it for free. She's going to keep getting attention a little bit here, a little bit there, which is, I'm fine with that. But I think she needs to make it clear that she needs to make a clear statement. I do not want to sue Gorilla Glue. I don't need no sponsorship or whatever. But I think the little thing that people are saying is making her look a little bit worse, because it's like, again, what was your point? I know she said that she was going out for the night. She ran out of the one stuff, and she had used it before on other stuff and thought, I can put it on my hair, go out, come home, wash it out, and it did not come out. I said, you're stupid. I think she has like 5 children. She's like in her 40s, and we know that we can make mistakes, and you can maybe use cayenne pepper, not black pepper, whatever. Okay, cool. But you can't use no one's going to use, Elmer's glue instead of flour. This right. Because you have, it's like, I feel like the fact that she tried to explain it, but you already had it at your house and you knew it was for. So I think her whole thing of, I didn't know it would do this. Whatever you glued before, did it come unglued? If it did not, then why use it on your hair? So I'm fine with her getting the GoFundMe money, but I think she needs to go sit down, like, not do nothing else about it. Get your hair together. Because she, even in the video with her, with it being loose now, she was upset that she cut the ponytail part off. Like, my hair could have been longer. You could have been bald. Be happy that you have that amount of hair to work with. She needs to go sit down some damn where.
Yeah, I saw that somebody said she was very ungrateful towards the doctor who did all of that for her. And that makes me really upset, because I feel like he should have made you use that money from that GoFundMe in order to pay for it if you were going to be ungrateful. And Honestly, I feel like nobody should have been running to help you since you wanted to be so stupid and do that to yourself. Thank you so much for the super chat, Tina. Just a little something to bless the new show. Thank you. We appreciate it. But I want to ask y'all, so what do y'all think about the story about this man that didn't think her story was real, so he glued his lip? I said, how that makes sense?
He should lose his lips. Like, her hair getting stuck, okay. She was the first person that it happened to. I'll give her that. As dumb as it was, I can give her that. But for someone to then say, oh, I see Helmet Head, came with her hair. Let me try to put it on my lips. Like, at least she put it on her hair. Lips is literally skin. Like, that's literally skin. So I think
they say on the bottle, not to do it on your skin or in your mouth.
He can, his lips should fall off. He should get fired from his job. Whatever he do, he deserves all the bad things because you purposely did this. Like she said, she was accident. You purposely did it to make her look bad. And I'm like, you deserve all the lips to be gone off your face.
Another thing is people were saying that they felt like, it did make Black women look like, caricatures of ourselves, basically. You got your eyes bugging out, you're looking stupid, you're sitting next to the gorilla can, and you're talking about how, and it's just, it is unfortunate and upsetting. And I do believe that she did this shit to like get something from it. Loving T was saying that she don't think that the first video we saw, the girl actually sprayed her hair. She thinks that because the shit blew up, the girl had to then spray her hair so that she can go to the doctor's office and have it removed in order to keep the lie going, because they believe that she lied about it initially, but because it blew up so much, it was like, okay, now people are offering, which is why she probably left that hospital when she went to the hospital the first time, and they were like, okay, we'll get it off. Because I'm trying to understand, like, why would you be like, okay, I would just rather go home where I'm going to be comfortable instead of getting the Gorilla Glue that's stuck to my fucking head off? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So,
and then flew out the state to have it done. Right. That's even more where it took more time to fly out the state than have it on the house.
And then, but you just did a video complaining about having that same hair in your head for a month, or that glue in your hair for a whole month.
And then she didn't have it in for a whole month because there are pictures of her with different versions of a ponytail that obviously show that her hair was not glued like that the entire time. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw a picture of her. It was a different style, like maybe in late January. So it was. I'm like, is that an old picture? I was confused too. Like, wait, that ain't the same hair swoop on the side.
It's not. It wasn't.
I will say is she made a video. It looked like the same day as the initial TikTok, and she put shampoo on her scalp, and when she rubbed it, it was literally like rubbing a glass bowl. Like that stuff was just slipping all over her head. So that's why I kind of think that she may have actually sprayed her hair, but I didn't know she didn't have it in for a month.
And see, that's what sticks out to me, the month thing, because let's think about this. I'm thinking about it as far as, remember how her hair started to get like real hard? It would have probably got hard within that month of it being in her head. Right. So after you announce it to us, then your hair starts to get hard. I don't know. Maybe it was the chemicals she put on there afterwards.
Another thing that they were saying is that she does crafts. Like JayLees said, she had used that glue before. And anybody that used that glue knows, for one, it smells terrible. And as soon as you spray something, it starts to stick. So her brush would have been sticking. Her hands would have been sticking. Shit would have been sticking to the counter. And when you think about that, because even when you use Got2b glue, it's like a whole situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be very careful about it. And then sometimes it still gets stuck on your fingers, and like you can feel it on your fingertip and all that. You gotta go fresh. It's a whole situation. So I kind of felt like when you break it down like that, and also that she's removed pictures from her Instagram, it does seem like a plot that her and her sister has set up to come to us with the bullshit and get GoFundMe and them to give us some money. And that's why I don't do GoFundMe. People will come to me all the time telling me about how, oh, I'm going through this, oh, I'm going through that. Listen, that might be true, but I don't know you, and I will not vouch for you if I do not know you or know you are credible. I don't do that. So when people will come to me, I'll be like, I'm sorry, baby, you got to get it on your own, because I'm not about to have people coming to me with the bullshit because I told them to help you and you scamming folks. So yeah, she definitely on some scam shit.
Did y'all see it was a girl? It's been a trend of ridiculous stuff. So the dude with his lip, and then 2 days ago, I seen a girl on TikTok putting perm on her vagina.
For what?
Yes, she said her hair was nappy. She wanted Jami. She wanted to straighten it. She permed it, fell asleep.
I'm out.
And then when she woke up, it was burning all down there, and the fool had to walk around with a diaper. And she TikToked the whole thing. So I'm like, you fools don't care about y'all scalps, you don't care about your lips, and now you don't care about your vagina.
I feel like the vagina skin is more sensitive than the scalp for one, because you feel you feel it all down there. Who would do that? I've had perms in years, but again, a perm on a scalp, like your head be burning after a couple minutes. Why you want your coochie hair straight?
That's what I'm saying.
Walking around
when you can build that. You don't.
Oh God!
First of all, let's start with the fact that why are you trying to straighten the hair down there? It should either be the bush or nothing. That's the choice. You do your little cut, you do your little V, whatever. But it's the bush or nothing.
Yes, bush or nothing.
Like ain't nobody perming nothing down there.
She said, "I'm trying to get type 3 curls down there."
Like what? and another thing, where does that look good at? Because I don't think I've ever seen straight pube hair. I don't think I've ever seen straight pube hair on anybody. And maybe just because I don't like white porn. But I am so taken aback because you can't even use that soap on this coochie. You can't even use like soap that they carry at the gas station on this coochie. You can't do it. My pH won't allow for it. So I'm trying to understand how it is that you're like putting perm that creates scabs on your
coochie.
I gotta find the video.
Oh my God!
I gotta find it.
Listen.
Oh God!
I am flabbergasted, but I feel like with that being said, it's time to move on to Sistas. Okay, let's get away from the
foolishness of it all.
Yes, that's exactly what they are.
Oh my God, there are 659 people in the room. Y'all, please like the video. Make sure that y'all are subscribing to the other ladies because these videos will transition from everybody's channel throughout the weeks. So in order to watch the next episode, you can't just be subscribed to me. You have to be subscribed to JayLees. And then after that, you have to be subscribed to Necey and Jami. So make sure that you subscribe to the other ladies' channel so that you will be abreast for the next time we're doing, ladies first. Ladies first.
Ready.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into Sistas. Because I feel like Sistas is one of the like undervalued shows that Tyler Perry gives us. Because there are some gems. There are some gems sometimes in a good old Tyler Perry. So let's go ahead and start off with Danny and Preston. So it's Danny and Preston right here. Jami is new to not Jami. I'm sorry. Jami's been watching Sistas. Necey's new to Sistas. So she's learning, but the rest of us know what's going on. All right. So this episode, Danny finds Preston beat up on her doorstep, and then he has to explain that his brothers beat his ass. His brothers beat his ass, I think, after he went to Danny's job with the bullshit, because he showed up, the two, real nasty, stank-looking brothers showed up to threaten her, and they told her she was a bet, and stay away from my brother, gal, and all of this bullshit. Stay away from our money, gal. And it's like, first of all, I don't even think I want to be a part of y'all's gene pool because y'all look like y'all been having sex with family members, and this is not cute, okay? But either way, she tends to this man's wounds. She, brings him into her house. He assures her that she was never a bet, which I didn't believe that. But I still feel like, what the is up with Preston's family? I mean, you got the one sister that's not racist, but then these two fools who look like they was growing on the side of something before they came to be like fungi or some shit. And then at the end of their scenes for the episode, they decide that he's going to move in, and he was like, I'm going to pay all the rent, Danny. And she was like, you can pay half. He was like, no, I'm going to pay all of the rent. And I'm just like, where are these niggas at?
Right.
Go ahead. My thoughts first, and I'm going to let y'all go ahead and get into it. So I don't know how I feel about Danny and Preston anymore. I thought it was cute at first, but now it's starting to seem like too much adversity and almost kind of like it's going to eventually come to a head. Like, oh, this is the first thing. It's cute. We got over it. You know what I'm saying? I tend to your wounds. Woo, 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 woo. We end up in a bed together. Bam, bam, bam. I like that cowgirl. Reverse cowgirl. I'm on that meat. I'm surprised that it's this big because you're Caucasian. All of those things will eventually lose their novelty, and you'll be left with, yes, a very gentlemanly man, but one that refers to women as gals. So I feel like, you know, there are issues that can persist with this relationship. So y'all tell me how y'all feel about it.
I like Preston and Danny, but when Danny acting right, when Danny on that foolish, I don't know what he doing, she playing hard to get, I don't like that. I think when they're honestly in the moments of just them and they're both being honest, it's a beautiful moment. But I want it to last past, you know, I'm sad because you got beat up right now. Like, I don't want it to be in 2 weeks Daddy pissed off because he asked for a pot or whatever may piss her off. Something about their connection is real cute. It's real, like, authentically, I like her, she like me. And it's new for them both. I like it. I also like that Preston, you know, I wonder if in real life if he's mixed or if he's white. I don't know what he is.
Yeah, he mixed.
And that is also part of the connection to him.
Has to be.
Yeah, I like that. So I like their bond.
I'm sorry. Y'all, he's mixed in real life.
Yeah. I followed him on Twitter.
Instagram. Somebody DM me his Instagram.
I'm gonna see his Twitter.
I'll find it. I think his wife is black as well. I believe his wife. His
name is Trinity.
Yeah, I think it's his mom that's black. I got to see. I've been on his page a long time ago, but he's black.
I like it. It's a cuteness to it. It's a cuteness.
Why does they all of a sudden make you go practice time? Wait a minute.
Because he got a bit of melanin.
It all makes sense though, because I'm like, something is a little bit black about this man, and then on top of that, once Jami was like, I think his mom's black. I'm like, that's how it always works, right?
Right.
Because the mama put it in here.
Black, it's always the mother that's black.
Yes.
Now, like Bonnie said, I'm new to Sistas, so I'm not really familiar with the backstory. But in that scene, I felt like there's pieces to the story that's missing. Like y'all mentioned, I don't believe that it wasn't a bet because he just kind of changed the subject and was like, you know me, you know I'm not like that. My sister, you met my sister. And it's like, well, what is it? She was basically saying it's all right if it was a bet. And he didn't even want to admit it. So
she was lying.
Yeah.
She was saying that, but if he had said, yeah, it was a bet, she'd been like, get out of my house. Get out of here. No, I don't. Like, she would have jumped off the ledge just like she did when he was, you know, trying to tie her up, which was something that she did first. There was an episode like in the beginning of the season where he was trying to handcuff her the way she had done to him. And he called her gal, but he was like playing around with her in the way that they had in the past. Yeah. And she got all sensitive about it, like he was about to take her, you know, to the Underground Railroad or some shit. It's not a real place, y'all. We know it's figurative. I'm being funny, just so we know. I don't think it's a real place. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta throw a disclaimer out there, right?
Yeah, I believe it was a bet as well, and I just found it interesting. Like Necey said, like, he tried to kind of hurry up and start over that and talk about his sister, and then turned around and said the guys were his half brothers, and I was kind of like, so your half brothers weren't that hard? I don't really see that too much. That like y'all not, they probably didn't even really grow up with you like that. So I don't know, but I do.
Let us not forget this is Tyler Perry. I just want to say that. Go ahead.
Yeah, right.
I do like Preston and Danny together, but I feel like y'all said, it is a lot missing, and I'm afraid that we haven't seen the last of the brothers. And I also feel like one of them probably gonna come up missing. It's just a matter of which one. I think it's great that they're moving in with each other, because when we watch the show, Danny is a jokester. She's always fidgety. She's always joking around. She's never really taken serious. So I want to see Danny have that relationship and get that guy in the end. So I'm really glad that they are moving in together. I think there are going to be a lot of challenges in the relationship, because just like Bondi mentioned with the whole gal thing and the whole handcuffs and stuff. So she has to kind of like untrain him or train him to be the best mate for her. So they're going to face a lot of challenges. But I think we have not seen the last of his family resurfacing. And I really feel like one of them going to come up missing.
For sure.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. Also, why does he keep bringing up the butt liquor? What is that about? Like,
I think it's different when you come to the house and dude naked. And, you know, it's hard to forget a naked man walk out the bathroom. I think if he just heard about some dude she messed with who possibly looks her ass, he may not think about it. But, I mean, dude was naked, you know what I'm saying, bare ball out there, just swinging or whatever. And Preston was like, I mean, the penis was right there. He had it was just weird.
that's
I
John
think
Moody.
because he's seen it. Because he was it Southern Charm? He was
Yes,
on?
Southern Charm, New Orleans. He is from here. Yes, he is. I follow him on Instagram. He has great thigh muscles. Let's move on.
I see people saying that y'all don't watch Sistas. Look, y'all have to remember Tyler Perry will have 5 shows, and then one of the 5 will be the good one. Sistas is the good Tyler Perry show that you should watch. So if y'all haven't been watching it, it is much, much better this season than it was last season. So if y'all haven't watched it, just go ahead and get back into it. You know, this is the good Tyler Perry. We can tolerate this show.
Right.
It's good. It's a good story. It's a good
For
story.
sure. And also, you know, I feel like the subject matters of the show and the fact that it's a show about a group of girlfriends, hella.
Right.
So that's why I thought, you know, when JayLees brought it up, that it would be a great addition to Married at First Sight, which we will be getting to after we finish talking about Sistas. Sistas is kind of quick, so that's why we wanted to get that done first. Let's move on. So Maurice gets home to find Calvin getting ready for a date. Maurice says that maybe that's for the best now because, you know, your girl Sabrina is feeling the new guy at the bank, and I'm over that already because I'm kind of like, first of all, the new guy at the bank just be lingering around and he seems sketch. Second of all, I'm tired of Calvin. I do appreciate Maurice being the, you know, the Medea. Like, I think he and Danny share the Medea role on the show, basically with the way that they're all like, tell it like it is and everything. But you could tell that this situation between Calvin and Sabrina, it ain't really over, but I wish it was over because I'm tired of Calvin. But they didn't move him in with Maurice. So I don't know how to feel at this point. Do y'all think that Maurice and Calvin will you know, might, you know, because he say he's not, but Maurice seems to be growing like feelings for him. Is it just me?
I don't think it'll happen because because of Calvin. I think Maurice would do it if he could. I don't see Calvin doing it. Calvin to me seems like a regular guy who is very, very, very metrosexual, but he's also not gay. But he like things people think like. I don't want.
He likes to get pegged. If you don't know,
Yeah,
like,
you know.
put it out there for y'all so that y'all
I
know.
don't have to say it without saying it.
Calvin likes to get pegged. The issue between Calvin and Sabrina is that Calvin showed up to Sabrina's house to hunch with like lace panties on, and then he took her dildo out of her little sex toy box and was like, "Here, use this on me," and then put it in there without like question or washing it off, nothing. So that's the backstory to Sabrina and Calvin and why we're all over it at this point. She even thought that he was on meth and secretly had him drug tested by Maurice, and we found out that he was clean. I don't think he's a drug addict. I think he's super, super, super metrosexual, and he needs to find him a woman that likes to put on a strap and peg these.
Because I wouldn't like that. Like I don't want to do that. I don't. And I get people enjoy that feeling. That's cool. That's what
it's unattractive.
I don't like that.
Man bent over and receiving, it's unattractive to some women, and it's unattractive to me. I don't want to see you bent over and being a receptacle because to me, you know, it's my job.
Yeah, I actually have 2 friends who have experienced that, and they both love it. But my one friend who does it, she's actually bisexual. My other friend, she was straight, and the guy she was with was actually a male stripper. So I don't know if he was 100% straight or if he.
I'm about to say you. They don't have a history of being 100% anything.
I know. I'm trying to give him benefit of the doubt. But yeah, so I've heard that before. But I thought you were saying that this character, this was just a theory, like he was just a peg type of guy. But no.
No, he said, "Huh, let me help you put this in my butt." And he raced around there and vibrated his butt. I was like, "No, not on my watch."
Listen, that's the weird part about me because I don't find that attractive for a man to want that. Like I wouldn't be attracted. I'm just sorry. That's not gonna turn me on to watch you get ready to get in the ass. Like that's not gonna. Yeah. But I have done it to girls and. It just depends on the girl. If they're into it, then it's enjoyable for everyone. If they're not into it, it's not that enjoyable. So I just think it matters on the girl. But yeah, I've definitely I put on a strap on before. Yeah, for sure.
Bondi.
Yeah, what do you mean? Y'all know I'm bisexual. Right?
I know. but I think it's regular. I think it's weird. It's weird sometimes with for a guy. I just wouldn't. I don't want to. No, just leave your booty alone.
I won't feel comfortable.
I wouldn't feel comfortable.
No, I wouldn't either.
But Calvin liked it.
But I think it's more popular than what we think.
I think it's more popular than what we think too. I think there are more men that like that. I mean, it's a pleasure point for them, but society-wise, I'm not in a headspace where I'm like, yeah, nigga, bend over. No.
But see, okay, so what if the guy, not that I cared, not that I wanted, let me say that first. No. But what if the guy was like, you know what, I don't want to bend over. What if I'm on my back? And he said, I'm on my back.
You still gotta throw your legs in the air.
Yeah,
I think your legs in the air.
I'm like, I just don't care about it being a pleasure point. I'm like, it's because then he has to moan a certain way that can get too feminine because he can get a different feeling. I don't.
Yeah, nobody likes a feminine moan tee from a man. Nobody likes a feminine moan tee from a man. That's the quickest way to change the whole mood. Oh, wait a minute.
Like, what is going on here?
And it's so weird for me because it's not like I'm not turned on by women, but it's like I need you to be like a woman, in order for those criteria to, fit. But anyway, let's move on, y'all.
Right.
So I just want to say that.
See what I mean, though? Like, how is this not an interesting topic?
Hilarious. I know, because we keep finding our way back to it. So, I mean, just got to let it go. But I think I don't want Sabrina to get with the dude at the bank. I really don't. I don't want her to mix business with pleasure type thing. I really don't want that to happen at all. I would like for her and Calvin to have a conversation, even if the final straw is for them to go their separate ways. When it comes to Maurice and Calvin, it comes off as though if they were to get to a point where they look like they're about to cross the line, that Maurice would do it, but I think he probably wouldn't off of the strength of Sabrina.
Let me tell y'all something. I don't think he give a fuck about Sabrina enough to turn down Calvin. And another thing is, I think Tyler Perry is one of those people that tries to make people more comfortable with gay relationships. So this might be the long ways around to Calvin and Maurice giving us a love affair that we ain't know we wanted. So I'm still open. Because it was something about when Sabrina and him were having a conversation last week, and Sabrina was like, no, you really feeling him. And there's like a tenderness, even though he's always cursing Calvin's ass out, there's a tenderness that he has towards Calvin that I feel like could definitely flourish into like a relationship. And Calvin is just metrosexual enough to be drunk one night and, boom, bow, pow, you getting pegged by a real meat, okay? But look,
they'll watch The Neighbors together.
That would be interesting.
Because I feel like,
that's a lot.
So let's move on to Andy, you guys. This episode, Andy gets home to a bunch of flowers and a note from Gary. And she calls her building and tells them, I'm not receiving any, packages today. So you guys, can y'all come and get all of these fucking flowers out of my apartment? And then she calls Karen. And Karen is like, girl, don't play with me. Send all that shit back. Don't call him. Stop playing with me. Because Karen didn't had it up the hill with this whole Gary situation. Okay. And it gives her an opportunity to sit there and think about Gary. So we know that shit not over. And then the little white guy who comes to get the flowers comes in and he flirting with her and shit. I always feel like Andy is thirsty for attention because it be the most random people. If they give her energy, I feel like she gives them energy back. Like, he's coming to pick up the flowers, bitch. There's too much conversation. And then come to find out he is like a doorman or whatever. Like, he picks stuff up, but his daddy owns the building, and his daddy a hoe too. And his daddy a married hoe at that, but got the nerve to be talking about Andy and her being with a married man. And we also find out that Gary's ex-wife, or well, the one he was with, Jasmine, whatever her name is, she actually was outside the building letting all the neighbors know. So now Andy realizes, oh my God, now I know why the neighbors were looking at me crazy. Okay, now that I've said that, I'm so tired of Andy. I almost wanted them to kill her off last season. I honestly felt like when we thought she might have been dead and that Gary had hugged the life out of her, I thought it would be a better show. And they can bring in Fatima and she can be the next fourth. And maybe Andy, as the actress, KJ Smith, or whatever her real name is, was going back to one of them, all black UMC shows that she be on. Because I think she be on Family Business or something.
Yeah, she on Family Business.
Go back over there. Because I like her character on that show. But over here, she makes me want to strangle her. Okay? I can't stand her. I'm tired of getting y'all see Gary gonna pop up next episode. So anime, y'all better believe this shit ain't over. Go ahead, y'all.
Andy get on everybody's nerves. I think Andy has this indecisiveness that puts her in these bad situations, and then she asks for advice, but then don't listen. And it's like, why waste my time? Like, you know for a fact that Gary's a bad guy. Even if you love him, he is the thing that y'all have been through in this time shows you that ain't the one. So it's like, move on. And it's like, as much as they try to judge each other, Andy, to me, is in the worst situation because he was married. He had criminal shit going on. Your stuff got taken by the FBI or the IRS as well with them letters. And he squoze you damn near to death and then sent you money but wanted it back. So I'm like, I don't get what Andy's point on the show is. I'm like, is she just supposed to be that one really dumb friend that is always in the group? She's like the dumb friend who, like, she's book smart. I think is she a good lawyer? I don't think she's even a good lawyer. It's like she was there to be pretty. And I want her to just float away and I like Fatima more than her. I think Fatima would have been a better character to be in the sister group because Andy is just it's just too much. I don't know what to do, but I'm going to keep doing the opposite of what y'all tell me to do. That keep getting me in bad situations. Dipsy. It's just weird.
He's too ditzy for this group of black women.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sorry, Jami. I just want to say that Fatima, I was about to say Fatima's issue with like being guarded with men and kind of going through them as if they're disposable is more interesting than whining over an abusive man. Go ahead, Jami.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fatima and KJ, forgot the girl name that quick, but they are so on the opposite end. Like, Fatima is an assistant, whereas you have Andy, who is an attorney who got it going on. She's supposed to be smart. She got these millions of dollars. Like, she's coming off as a certain type of persona of a woman. But then on the flip, girl, your life really is in shambles. Your love life is trash, and it's been like that since college, and you haven't learned your lesson at all. Like, I don't understand. Like, Gary should have been gone. She should have been let this man go, and I'm really dreading seeing him next episode. Like, I'm caring. Like, I'm tired. Let him go. Throw them flowers out. You should have even, like, when the doorman came, he should have just had bags of flowers. Like, everything in the trash, just take them out. Like, it's just too much. I'm just sick of them too. They making her look real bad. That's it.
And I feel like every guy she come into contact with, there's some kind of attraction. Paris, the white guy, even Hayden, when Hayden and her was first talking, every guy it's this flirtation. And I look back, even her boss, the first season, him and her, there was a flirtation between them. I feel like when they had mentioned last season that there was a rumor or word around the office that Andy kind of gets where she at because of how she looks. I feel like they kind of put that into her character. I'm like, why every guy there's like a flirtatious conversation, and that's all you kind of give us every episode. It's like who she's flirting with now that she's not gonna be with because she still stuck up on Gary's ass. Mm-hmm. And I'm tired of that, now we 2 seasons in.
I feel like Andy deserves everything she gets, in my opinion, because she started dating Gary very well knowing that this man was in a marriage and had children. We don't hear nothing about the children, though, but we always hear about the ex-wife and stuff. So, I mean, I don't know why she's surprised. Like,
when did Fatima, do y'all think he will ever notice the money?
Yeah.
What money did Fatima
She didn't take no money. When Gary sent that money, I thought she took it out, but she put it back in. Before Andy got there.
I thought Andy gave her that money because Andy.
No. Once she explained where it was from, she gave it to Andy because that's the money that Andy put in the safety deposit box and gave back to Gary that at the bank the other day.
Okay.
Because she did take some out and like smelled it or held it.
Yeah,
but when Andy walked in, she put it back. And Andy then said, "Don't touch my money." And I think when Andy counted it, it was still like, 200 or whatever amount of money it was.
Right.
It was like,
the right amount of
180.
Money.
Yeah.
So who bails that? Is Zach out of jail? Because I thought that was the money for Fatima didn't bail him out.
Yeah, she did.
I think she did, but I think she got her own. I think she got her own money though.
See, that's the thing. That's the weird part because she's the assistant, but she shows up more as a boss than Andy does, and Andy is the one who employs her.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
It's weird.
Is Andy like Amali from Insecure? Is that what she's like?
No, because Molly is more likable. Molly was sometimes not season 4 Molly, like season 1 and season 2 Molly was likable. Andy has always been ditzy and dumb, and we like, what is she doing? Oh, he married, but you still like every time something bad happened, she gets in deeper and deeper with Molly. When Molly see trouble, she like, I'm done. Like she like, nope, can't do it. So I don't think she's a Molly in that aspect, nah. But she's still the friend who you like. She's so dumb. Why she keep doing that? And they kind of baby. Well, Sabrina and Karen baby her.
They do.
Where Daddy be like, girl, leave him. He tried to choke you out.
I get so tired of them like correcting Danny for being honest in the moment. I get so tired of that. They do that damn near every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all listen. We got to move on because we have got to talk about this scene.
Girl.
Listen. Listen. Because y'all don't understand the severity of this position, bitch. You have no control. You can't go nowhere. He
like
got
prison.
you in a clamp and it's over.
You in prison.
That's that bounce action where a nigga like bend back a little bit and wear your ass out just off sheer inertia. I'm done. Listen, Fatima and Zach, even though I feel like they trying to set it up for Zach and Karen to get back together, I like thick ass Fatima and Zach together. I like the way she called him like, I want the D, and he showed up like, okay, I'm here to give out D. And like he always show up like, I'm the plumber and I've come to lay the pipe. He's always showing up like it's a porno. And I absolutely love it. But that scene they had in the shower,
that was a crazy scene. Because I didn't watch it yesterday. I watched it today while I was at work. And I was like, let me mute this a little bit more. Because I'm like, what is going on? I got him on, thank God I'm on Office. Because I'm like, this is porn. It was straight up porn.
I was looking at different stuff online, and y'all know they have the swings that you can get for your doors and stuff like that.
Yes, I want one of those.
Right. So, but when I saw that and I saw the way that her back was sliding up against the wet shower, I was like, you know what? You could probably save some coin. But also risk breaking your neck if you try that shower scene.
Listen,
don't act like
in my notes that he didn't fall. It's in my notes that he didn't fall because she a thick bitch.
Yeah.
So just like putting her up like with her legs over, that's what I'm saying. Like this right.
Zach proved the reason Karen stayed with him, because if that's how he was with Fatima. We've never seen any kind of sexual scene I can think about with him and Karen. To see him like this with Fatima, to me, I was like, oh.
But
Zach
he has the persona of the guy that can only do one thing, which is wear your ass out, which is why he fucked up your credit. You done spent all this money on him. He ain't got no car. He barely got a job. He living with you. Why? Because his penis touches your heart. But this is the thing. When he was with Karen, that's how he was. Now that he's messing with Fatima, he's a different person. To me, I'm like, are they trying to show how different women can bring different things out in the same man? Yep. Because the way that Karen tried to demean him because of his situation. Yeah, like you were this. But Fatima, like, you can be whatever. You can be great. And he like, I like that. You know what I'm saying? You make me feel good. Like, even how he talks to Danny about Fatima without saying her name, it's weird how both Fatima and Zach, because she don't want to be in the relationship, but she likes Zach. So it's like both of them is pulling things out of each other. And I don't think they trying to make Zach and Karen get back together. I think it's going to show Karen how she needs to be better at talking to men, because you stayed with Zach that long, and not saying she kept him down, but she did not encourage him in the right way. And with Fatima, he's a different person. Like, he wants to work all day. He wants a second job. Like, he doesn't want to use Fatima for what she has. Like, I don't want to come to your house. He don't want to feel like she's another Karen. Yeah, and that's why I feel like a woman is taking care of him.
Yeah,
she's like freely giving it to him. Like, come in. I know you tired. Come and stay here. And here when she wanted that D, but she was like, here, come take a shower. Here are some towels.
Girl.
But like, let's
got her hair wet.
Defense though, like in Karen's defense, Karen didn't come off like how she is now until like they went through things in their relationship. Zach kept getting locked up. Zach was cheating on her and stuff. So it's kind of hard to build a person up if they not listening to you and they gonna do what they want to do anyway. So that was a bit difficult in their relationship. I really do pray that they don't get back together, because I need Karen to see. But it's also a weird thing, right? Because he was the one that really did wrong by her. So when he tried to turn back around and do right, it's kind of like, it's like
too late.
It's like too late. But then on the flip, it's like how she acted towards him, like just knowing he stole and messed up her credit card and stuff. It's like, okay, now I really don't want y'all to ever get back together. I want him to move forward with Fatima. I want you to find out that it's Fatima, and I want you to find out that it was actually the man that you with that's out here doing wrong, and you can't get your man, you can't get Zach back. You should have did right when he was trying to be with you. But I also think Zach is always gonna show up. I think Zach's gonna always show up for her, but I don't think that. I hope they don't get back together.
Listen, I'm glad you said that, Jamie, because that's a great segue into us talking about these two, which is Karen and Aaron. I don't like Aaron. There's something so flawed about him. And to have this juxtaposition from him being like the preacher who's trying to eat the box at the hotel, but now you're sitting up here talking about you don't want to give up the dick. And I'm just kind of like, why are we holding the dick hostage after we ate the box? Like, what's going on there? Like, I'm so confused by him. Go ahead, Jamie. I see you.
Control. I feel like now he's withholding it so he can see, he's trying to gauge how much he can control her. That's what he's doing. He's a pastor. He was great at getting in her head the first time, which is also how he got in the head of his wife, which caused her to kill herself, allegedly. So, and then how you a whole pastor and you ain't got your kids, and then when they ask you about your kids, you say the kids are with the family. So something's not right, but I think he's
those kids are his.
Karen to control. Oh, those kids were never his.
No, he was stepdad to those.
He was stepdad.
Okay, gotcha. That's what it was. Okay,
but still, he's flaw-like.
Yes, he is. I think he's gauging how much he can control her, because he started with your money, girl. Then he gonna wear you out with the D at some point, and then you just gonna be OB. You're gonna be too far gone.
he keeps talking about how he isn't worried about anybody else, but then as soon as she's talking about how she really wants somebody to be, you know, in her and on her and touching her and all of that, which any woman that, you know, has been pleasured during sex understands what she was talking about, but he instantly went to Zach. You're talking about Zach. You're thinking about Zach. And it's like, no, I could have been thinking about, you know, just the experience as a whole. It doesn't have to be just with one person, because any grown-ass woman that's had sex with more than one person can, you know, just think about times I've had good sex, and it doesn't have to necessarily be tied to that person. But when I'm talking to you about it, I'm talking about doing it with you, what I want to experience with you. So the way he acted was a red flag to me, bringing up Zach.
I think Aaron represents a good man. No, I'm sorry, represents a bad man wrapped up in good packaging. Yes. Aaron came off as this nice guy, this bad situation with his wife who cheated on him. Like, he came off real sincere, like he had bad things going on, trying to move on. But the more we see him, it's like little by little, I'm looking like, like, why he ain't never at church? Like, where's his the family? Like, why do we, like, where does he live? Like, have you went to his house? Like, it's weird. It's like, he represents to me, you know, he looks like the perfect, he's in church, he's tall, he's light skinned, he got money, you know, he don't have any kids. He's like, it's good packaging, real good packaging. And he getting in your head real slowly. Like, it's these little itty bitty red flags. I think Karen is so still mad with Zach that she's thinking, okay, this guy's completely different from Zach, but is he better than Zach? Like, Zach is an asshole, yes, because he cheated or whatever, but Zach still, he cared for Karen even in his flaws. Whereas Aaron just wants Karen because he wants Karen, but he wants her how he wants her.
Yeah, it's always on his terms. It's never on hers. So when she wasn't ready to have sex, he wanted to have sex. Now that she wants sex, he doesn't want to have sex. And then another thing is that he really wanted to know about her past relationship with Zach. So that's where the real subject matter comes up. How do y'all feel about this? Because I like to know about your exes. I want you to know about mine. I just like to have understandings of people and what they've been through in past relationships, because I do feel like it lets you know kind of what you can expect. But I also feel like if somebody is talking about an ex too much, that's also a red flag. So I think it's a fine line, but I think it's a necessary thing if you're really trying to get to know somebody. But I don't know if he is being sincere with why he wants to know about Zach. Because to be honest, it makes me think about why you want to know about Zach, so you can use his name some more for credit card charges that he didn't charge. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can back off.
I think it's necessary to know about previous relationships, because that's how you can pull all the red flags real quick. But to know exactly what somebody did wrong, you can't really apply that to a different situation with a different person. I think it's just a good way to investigate and find red flags, but not necessarily to be like, okay, well, let me make sure I don't talk to you before 7 o'clock in the morning since you're not a morning person type of stuff.
Right. I would agree with all of that you guys just said. And I also think, just going back to the show real quick of him asking about Zach, I feel like he should be easy asking about Zach if he's not going to want Karen to ask about his wife. I don't think he's going to tell her a whole lot of information, especially what led her to kill herself. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree about that.
I think when you date somebody new, you do want to find out what they've been through. But at the same time, like, I don't want details of the dirt from your relationship. I just want to know, like, why didn't it work out? And what are you looking for in the future? Like, I don't need to know that you hated today, didn't put the cap back on toothpaste. I'm like, that's minuscule. But I feel like, what was y'all's issue that broke y'all up? Because if that's something that I can't deal with, it could be a deal breaker for me too. Let's have that discussion. But I feel like Aaron wants to know, what does Zach do wrong? What does Zach do right? I think that's too much of being specific to just Zach. My thing will be, Karen, what was your past relationships like? Not just Zach, but like, what is your, like, what's your pattern? Like, he asked about Zach particularly, and I'm like, that's what I'm looking like. Why are you? Because you seen Zach, you talked to Zach, you have witnessed them two fuss or whatever. You should have enough info to know how Zach is and not have to keep asking her about him.
See, and that's parallel with what Jami said. He may be trying to figure out all these details so he can use them to manipulate and control. So that's probably why he wants to find out all the details.
In addition, this is so off. I just wanted. Does anybody even know how he and what's the man Andy seeing? I forgot his name. Gary. How do they even know each other for him to go to the hospital to check?
It's that men's group that they're in.
It's a men's group.
What's the subject matter for the men's group though?
Right.
And for how crazy Gary is, how is Aaron this good guy? How is you connected to him when you don't know his issues?
They might be like frat brothers or something like that, because that lawyer that helped Gary was also kind of like a college buddy. So it's that makes me feel like it might be like a frat situation as to why, you know, everybody's so willing to do shit for this man. But it also feels like when you think about the scamming situation, how Gary was involved in some scamming shit. So when you add that to the situation with him being friends with Aaron and what's going on with Karen and what's going on with Zach, it is very much like their connection is that they both some scamming ass. Like that's
because
very
I posted on Twitter. I said, how would Zach even get access to Karen's business credit card? Not only that, if he spent $6,000, where he put the stuff? Zach was basically homeless. He has a bicycle. Where could he have the shit sent to? Like, he don't have a house. He don't have a car. Like, it doesn't make any. He has a book bag. He has a book bag going to Fatima's house every night. I'm like,
baby boy.
It's like, how did Karen isn't smart, and it was the assistant girl who said, well, they told me it was Zach. How they know it's Zach?
Exactly. But look, what's funny? What if Aaron used her money on a whole nother woman?
I think it was Aaron. I feel like Aaron has been scamming in some shape, way, or form, because again, he's always around. Or what if it ain't? What if it's the assistant girl?
Fatima? You think it might be Fatima?
Beyonce little cousin.
The hairdresser.
Beyonce cousin.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It might be. She is suspect. And I don't really like her. Because it has to be
somebody who has access to, because it has to be someone who has access to her. It wasn't her personal card. It was her business card for the salon. Why would Zach have access to that?
This is true.
Interesting. And then the assistant girl is a person that's always in the know. She knows everything. She even knew about when she was at the hotel that night. She be knowing everybody's business.
Right.
So that does make me raise an eyebrow at her. How would she know?
I like that. Good. I like where we going with this, because I feel like we kind of catching on to Tyler Perry's bullshit. Let's move on right quick, because I want to mention how the last thing that happened was we saw Fatima getting up out of the bed. Okay, her hair is messed up because she let Zach wear her ass out in a shower.
Right, that's Robin's hat.
Robin's hats, bitch. They're terrible. Yo, that's why I got the screenshot, because I was like, this the best you could do, bitch. Wear the bonnets. Okay, you better put that shit in a sleeve. Do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, put that, girl, you could have did better than that. Like, I love me like a little netted bonnet to throw on some curly hair. She need to get that together. I hate her wig too. Her wig is so problematic.
Off the top of her head.
It really is.
So I knew that was Robin's head.
Girl. So look, after that, we see this shit. Karen takes her ass down to the police precinct to turn Zach's ass in. And the exact same police officer, I don't know if this happens like this usually, but the desk officer is the exact same officer that ends up arresting Zach and being hella overzealous about having his hand on that gun. Y'all, this shit had my nerves so bad. It don't matter if it's fake Tyler Perry shit. It don't matter what it is. Whenever I see black people get pulled over by police officers, whether police officers are white or black, my ass is nervous. It don't matter what the show is, okay? So I was just like, please don't kill Zach. He's so fine. Like, please. But ultimately, I'm upset with Karen about this, because I feel like, bitch, you don't have enough evidence for this shit. Okay, and you're gonna have this man that's already kind of, locked up with the court system and with the jail system. You really gonna have him locked up? It's really because you mad about how y'all relationship played out. You feel played, you feel used, especially now that you with a man that's throwing money at you and asking whatever you need. Now you mad at yourself, but you taking it out on him because you like, I could have had better this whole time and I'm fucking around with you. So now you want to take that out on him, and I'm just really upset because I'm like, really, you gonna let this man get arrested with his record for this shit, and you don't even really know it's him? Y'all go ahead and tell me how y'all feel. I'm mad.
I'm pissed because the only reason she went and did that was because Aaron told her you hung up on Zach. I feel like Karen went and did that to prove to Aaron that she don't care about Zach. I'm going to go ahead and file charges on him so I can prove to Aaron how much she's over Zach. I'm like, no, that means you're not. And not only that, Sabrina told you the last episode, my bank works with the car company. I can call them and get video of who it was and the receipts to see what signature it is. So wait it out for a couple of days before you do anything. The fact that Karen went and did it anyway, to me, it's like you don't even care if Zach did it. You just want to punish him because you are now upset that he has moved on from you, and Aaron telling you that you still like Zach. Karen, to me, showed that she is messy and that she's petty and that she don't think clearly. And that's why she may have been with Zach in the first place. Because you making dumbass decisions even now when he is not in your life no more. Like, you say he ain't shit. How are you pissed that he's not around? Wait for Sabrina to give you the proof and then go ahead and press charge. Like, I don't think if she had the proof, she couldn't do that. But you have no proof, bitch. None. I was like, this bitch here. I was so pissed. I was so pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I think that she's definitely doing that to prove a point to Aaron. And everything JayLees just said, I agree with. But it does make me wonder. I wonder if Aaron has a connect at this police station that's gonna probably keep old buddy locked up for some time. I'm just wondering.
Why was he pulled over? Because Karen hasn't seen him in that car. That truck down in his name. So why was he pulled over? That to me too was like, how did they do that?
That's true. And Danny did slip up and say, "Oh, girl, you got me." Okay, so Danny did say that he was riding around in a new truck or whatever, right? Remember, she said that over at Sabrina's house. But what's interesting is that truck isn't even registered to him. So how would y'all even know to pull him over?
And why was he pulled over? Why am I being pulled over? What did I do? Why? What? Because you can't. I'm dumbass Karen. Dumbass.
But I can't. I'm glad she's doing all this because when Zach come out on the other side, baby, you gonna be sick.
I want Zach to call Fatima. I want Zach to call Fatima while she had the hair salon, so then Karen can then hear, Zach, you in jail, Zach? Oh my God. I want that to be how Karen finds out because
I want her to see him with Fatima.
Ain't
gonna be no call. I want her to rush out and say, my man's in trouble. I gotta go, girl. I gotta go. Go get your man out or whatever.
We already see that she's going to talk about him next week to Karen while she's sitting in Karen's chair. So it definitely might go down the way y'all think it's gonna go down. I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah, I got some episodes to catch up on.
Yeah.
A lot, girl. I probably about 25 episodes for one season.
If you start from this season, you can kind of get caught up because last season they kind of still talk about stuff now. So like if you catch up from like episode 1, whatever, season two of this, you'll be good. Yeah, watch first season.
We on episode 14 or something like 13, 14 right now. So like start on episode 1 and binge that shit. I almost feel like it'll be better if you watch it all, in one sitting or a couple of sittings versus watching it episode for episode like we did. But just be aware that Tyler Perry loves to prolong scenes, okay? But it does make it cuter for us when it's time for us to come here and talk about it, because y'all like the way we did that. We was on it, and we're just in time because this show is not going to be more than 2 hours. We ain't gonna be on here all damn night, okay?
Yeah, we don't do that over here.
Let's go ahead and move on to Married at First Sight, which is what a lot of y'all are here for. Okay, and it is the show that everybody here is involved in, so we all know what's abreast with Married at First Sight season 12.
Oh God!
So y'all already know we gonna get the nothings out of the way first, and we gonna end on Chris and Paige. That's how we gonna do this. It's 654 y'all in here. Please like the video, share it with your people, and somebody put it in the comments that this is the moment we start talking about Married at First Sight for future references. Thank you so much, and let's go ahead and press. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's start off with Ryan and Clara. Shout out to JayLees for the screenshots. Okay, I had these, but she had these with names on them, and they just look nicer. Okay, so this is a group effort out this
week. We're a team out here.
Okay, we team We teamed this shit, and I appreciate it. Dream work. Okay, let's go ahead. All right, Clara and Ryan. Let me scroll up. Okay. So Ryan and Clara talk about what they see for themselves as they get older this episode. Okay. They have some differences. He's routine based. Clara is not. She, you know, looks like the trifling girl, comes inside, throws everything around, you know, hair all over the place, towels, wet towels on the floor, her panties all over the place. She looked like the girl that, you know, you got to get to not be trifling. And he looks like the type of guy to be walking behind her, picking up all her shit, either happy or really stressed out about it, one or the other. They discuss having kids. And the main thing for them this episode is the realization that Clara is not religious and Ryan is, and how they may not be equally yoked. That's a big deal in relationships, how we're going to raise these damn kids. And I feel like Clara was basically saying, I've been in religion, I understand it. I want my kids to know about it, but I don't want to force them into it. Ryan feels like this is the baseline that they need to have. They need to be raised in some type of organized religion, preferably the one he's in, which is Christian, I'm sure. And, you know, maybe from there, as a child gets older, they can make different decisions. But baseline, we want you getting christened. We want you doing all these things. So for me, I don't feel like this is going to be as big of an issue as they think it's going to be, because to me, that's really simple. If you're not that gung-ho about it, just allow the baby to have, you know, get christened and do the little certain things that you do in the church. It doesn't have to be an everyday thing. And if it is, then he needs to be the one to take the child to church every Sunday, if that's something that's important to him. Even in my family, with us having the same, you know, religion and going to the same church, we didn't always go at the same time. There were a number of years when my dad would go at 8 a.m. and me and my mom would go later on at like 10 or 11 when she was singing the choir. So, you know, it doesn't always have to be all of us together, basically. So even though I feel like they're presenting this like it's a big deal, I think it's something that can be easily talked about, discussed, and remedied. What do y'all think?
I think there's two red flags with Ryan and Clara. The first one is that Ryan has never been in love before, and that Clara seems like she will fall hard. So I think that's the biggest red flag. And I agree with you. I think they boost in this whole religion situation, because to me, I don't think that Ryan has ever fully declared himself as religious. I think he's let us know that he's been raised in the church, but he never said he was as religious as his parents. So I think they're making the situation much bigger than what it is. And I agree. I think Clara can just let her kids do the little things, and that'll be it. My issue with them, why y'all pick these old ass names, Vera and Elton?
Good night.
Why?
I wasn't gonna say nothing about the Elton comment, and she was like, "It can be Elton John something," but other than that, no.
Elton John Oubre. Where did y'all pick these names from? But I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely starting off as though they're not equally yoked or whatever, but I agree with that. Like, let the child, him or her, do the small things, because when they get older, just like the mama, Clara, just like she made a decision on whether she's going to be religious or just spiritual, that child gonna do the same thing when it gets older. So I don't think anything's wrong with trying to keep some type of family tradition, you know, as long as it's not harming the child. So I don't think it's gonna be as big as they may think it is. But then again, I don't know, because her lifestyle is just different. So we gonna see.
Let me apologize to Vera in the comments.
Oh, to Vera in the comments.
I'm just saying, no child born in 2021 needs to be named Vera.
Vera in the comments. Sorry, Vera. We love you, though, girl. I agree. I feel like both of them, I think they match in an awkward way. But I do think the little things that they kind of pinpoint won't be a big deal. Because like Necey said, he hasn't really said that he's just, you know, deeply religious, church going every Sunday, every day person or whatever. I think her kind of working against it, where she doesn't want to have anything to do with it. It's just her issue with her life growing up. But again, you have kids and you can do things differently than how your parent did it. I think people forget that you do what your parents say as a kid. You get older, you then make your own decisions. So I don't think Ryan wants like the kids to be like the pastor of the church and like go, you know, I don't think it's that. So I think if they don't focus on that too soon, it won't become an argument. But again, I do think she's very, very messy. We know that he is very structured. He has a routine. And I didn't like when she said, well, I'm not that. Like, I'm messy. I feel like she should have at least, you know what? I can try to at least not be messy as I am in my own space when I'm in your new space, which is now our space. I do think he's ready to live with her. I think she's not ready to live with him because she's the one saying, I'm messy, I'm this, I'm that. And he needs to kind of accommodate me. And I'm like, no, you have to kind of, you know, accommodate him too so that y'all can both be, you know, together and not piss each other off. So I think it can work out if they both kind of just calm down and like take it day by day.
Is it wrong of me to think that her house should never be messy, considering the fact that she's never really there because she's a flight attendant? So why are you saying your house is messy? So if your house is messy and you go for weeks,
she tried,
and then you want him to make that a home. Like, my only issue is that, you know, when you talk about your home, I would want to make sure that it's our home or whatever. Like, and I be like, ma'am, you're not even gonna be there. You just told him that you're gonna be missing holidays, birthdays, all this. So what are you talking about?
She said,
and she didn't sound like she was gonna quit no time soon. So how are y'all gonna have this child and bring this child up in any type of structure? So they gonna have some issues, y'all. I don't know.
In the long run, for sure. You right about that, Jamie. I didn't even think about it like that because I don't be caring.
When she said she was messy, I could just smell her sink. Like, because like Jami said, if you're a flight attendant, you seem trifling. Like, you seem like you will cook, leave dishes, not just pre-soak and be like, let me wash in the morning. You gonna leave them in the sink for 3 days, however long.
Be gone.
So whenever she said that, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Somebody want to come back home and gotta clean up. Somebody want to do that.
Can I mention how tight Ryan's butt is? I was dying laughing when he was like going around the room turning lights off and shit. In them little shorts. I was like, look at him in little shorts. I'm sorry. Put that little butt away.
When he had that hat on, did he look more black to y'all? Because y'all couldn't see his hair.
Yeah.
His hair makes him look. Yeah, his hair makes him look different. The fact that his hair is one, because his hair is like really straight, but his beard, the beard makes me know that your hair perm. Because again, usually a man's head here and here it usually match, and his doesn't at all. It's two completely different textures.
It doesn't. Yeah, no. Okay, so y'all, let's move on to Virginia and Eric, you guys. She is such a lush, isn't she?
Oh, she's a drinker.
She is getting fucked up at all times, and it really is obnoxious, this episode. So Virginia and Eric are figuring each other out, as well as the age difference situation between the two of them. He's on time, she's always late. She takes her time a lot, probably procrastinates a lot, probably another trifling one. They go to the pool that day and they discuss her having a lot of guy friends, and a lot of drinking is going on. So I believe that she makes him want to enjoy life a little bit more, and that's a good thing. But this conversation about how he feels like she can't have guy friends, this is going to be an issue because she's definitely fucked some of her guy friends. Or at least one of them. She's fucked at least one of her guy friends. You can tell me no different. And it's not even like she wants to fuck him again. It's just like it happened one night and I shouldn't have to stop being friends with him because you're insecure. That's going to be an issue for them. And then he takes her on a romantic dinner with The View, which was really dope. And they discuss the pilot schedule. And y'all know she got abandonment issues. So the fact that he's never really going to be home and she may end up having to basically show up in the world as a single parent because of his schedule, like, I almost feel like the doctors are doing shit, or the specialists, whatever you want to fucking call them. I feel like they're starting to do, these are the things they do on purpose to cause issue in the couples so that it'll be entertaining. And I almost feel, or even though it'll be challenging to the relationship for growth. Like, I don't know what deep, profound reason they come up for the reasons why they fuck with these couples, but this is one of those fuck with moments because y'all know that this girl has abandonment issues. Why would you choose a man whose job is to leave her often and for extended periods of time? I do understand that he's going to be home for like half of the month, which not having to go anywhere and being home for half of the month, I feel like that's a nice trade-off for the 4 days out the week that he's going to be completely gone for the other half of the month. For me, I feel like that would be an even trade-off for me. But I also feel like I would have to really deeply and profoundly want to be with this person, be in love with this person. And I don't know if those feelings are there this early on for them. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're really into it, I don't know if it's just because she's drunk and you know, she's young and he's excited about that. And he doesn't want to be lonely. And now he's got this young girl that's loosey-goosey and hands all over him and is attracted to him. And I'm sure as a middle-aged, funny-looking white boy, he was a little nervous about that. I mean, I feel like he would look so much better if he had a beard. Like, I wish y'all would help yourselves. You and Jacob, get some beards, okay? Because, you know, y'all just give way too much baby face and all of that, and I just feel like it's unattractive. A beard on some of you white boys, it really be like saving y'all. Y'all be like, ooh, with a beard. And then without it, y'all be like, oh. So, even though I think they're cute, you know what I'm saying? And I'm happy they're digging each other because they, at first, to me, did kind of give that weird tea like the couple from last season. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And she tried to lie and say he was gay.
Oh, Christina and Henry.
Yes, them two. It did give that tea at first because he comes off as kind of weird, but that actually turned out to be more Jacob and Haley's situation, which is funny to me. But yes, please let me know how y'all are feeling about it.
I don't think they're gonna last for real. I find it interesting that for him to be a pilot, they set him up with her, but they didn't set him up with Claire, who's an actual flight attendant, and their schedules probably would work out best. So I definitely believe Bonnie is right that they're doing this to try and spark some type of tension. That girl, but her family told him how she was, though. They said she was young. She likes to get drunk and all that stuff. So I mean, they're just on. That's just gonna be hard. I can see them having like outside of Chris and Paige. I can see them having like a real hard relationship, because even just going down to the beach, I think it was, they was trying to go outside by the pool. It was a whole thing about that, about she wanted to put her makeup on, she wanted to do this, she wanted to do that, and then he had his whole viewpoint on, nah, it's supposed to be like this, and I'm just like, y'all, about a pool. Y'all got a long way to go. I'm just like, I don't see it lasting. And then like, if he's gone for a long period of time, she likes to get drunk. She's already slept with one of her male friends. Like, he's setting it up perfectly for her to mess around with someone else. And then paternity issues are going to come into play at a later point.
I don't see why they match, because I don't think she's ready for marriage. I think she just wanted someone to be around for her to hang out with. I do think he wanted a wife. I think he thought he would have got someone who was more mature like him. There's an immaturity to her that I think is just a part of her not being done partying. And not saying that if you like to party, you can't be a wife, but you can't want to party when your husband is not a partier. Like, you have to marry someone who likes to, like Amani and Woody both can, you know what I'm saying, go out and have fun. I don't see Eric and Virginia doing that. I feel like she would go out and party, he'll get pissed, he may murder her. He give me killer vibes. Like, yeah, you know, I do. I feel like he has a jealousy, because he said, you know what I'm saying, sometimes I'm jealous when I have to be. I'm like, who has to be jealous? I'm like, he can murder her. He can just get upset, murder her, put her body in a suitcase and fly her across the world. And no one would ever know. Like, the minute he said, you know, sometimes I can be jealous when I need to be. I'm looking like, you don't need to be, like, no one needs to be jealous. And when she was like laughing,
I'm sorry.
It's true. Yes.
I said, oh, she's serious.
Oh, that's serious. Because he didn't kill her. I think he can kill her. He's that calm, cool murderer who you never think he gonna kill his wife, and she done went out and had. Yes,
yeah, like
he keeps smiling, and he murdered her, and he flies her to Africa because he's a pilot, and they'll think she's somewhere drunk and just hungover because that's what she do. It's a weird vibe between them. I don't think they're gonna work simply because He wants a stay-at-home wife. She wants someone she can go hang out with. They don't mesh well. They have fun now because it's the honeymoon. It's the bar, it's Vegas, it's the fun time. That's why the honeymoon is usually like, oh, it's kind of boring. It's when they get home that the real shit kick in. That's we gonna see. He gonna murder her.
Yeah, I agree. I think they get along well now because we're getting drunk Eric and drunk Virginia. What I don't think he's realizing is that drunk Virginia is 22 hours out of the day. So it's going to hit once they go back home. And his comment on guys and girls can't be friends. I think it is possible for guys and girls to be friends. However, Virginia stayed in the streets. So she definitely has hooked up with some of her friends. I believe that 110%. But one of the things that Virginia said, she is a little bit feisty, whereas you can tell he kind of would prefer someone more submissive. She doubled back and she said to him, do you think that's how guys operate or is that how you operate? And when she said that, I was like, you know what? He probably does operate like that because it's nothing about him that would be attractive to me and a woman. He just seems like a good guy, you know? So I'm sure he has placed himself in relationships with females where he's wanting more, but he hasn't been able to get more. So that's why he's telling her that men think that way. And as far as the matching, I don't think that the experts had any say-so in the matching this season. I think that this was 110% production picks. I think this is the first season where they could plan ahead for COVID. So I think, usually they pick like 1 to 2 wild card couples where you like, okay, they really don't match, but this might work. This season, I ain't never seen so many fools lined up. I feel like almost every single couple is wild card, and they're trying to do that to make sure that they have footage to keep us entertained the whole season. However, I think they went overboard. It's too many fools on this season.
They're all fools. And it's like I think they all wonder why they match. I think everybody except for, of course, Brianna and Vincent. But all the other couples is like, why was we matched? Like, I have to see why we matched. And I think you're right. They had to do something to make sure they had enough footage for a whole season. So we have 3 crazy couples. That's going to be enough drama to where if the fact that most of the other couples are kind of boring, but they have the fools at the end, like it made complete sense because during the special when Patrick Cal kept asking Chris, "Are you sure you don't have anyone who thinks they still connect to you?" I feel like they knew something was up. They may not have known what was going on like fully, but I think the fact that he kept on saying that he had that fiance from a month or 2 months ago, they felt like this is enough to give us some spice to make it be some bullshit. Because if he is fucking her, it'll be great for TV. Yeah. But if he's not, fucking her, him and Paige could possibly I don't know if he's an asshole. Could they have worked out if he didn't have the ex? I don't know. So I do wonder if they thought, okay, if he's not fucking somebody else, could they really mesh well? But I'm like, Chris is such a. Let me stop because
No,
we didn't even know them yet.
Previous seasons, usually the type of fools that make casting are people who you can tell they're like, okay, they interview well. Like Michael, the liar. I was like, okay, he probably interviewed well. Zach, he probably interviewed well. Brandon probably interviewed well. But you cannot tell me that Virginia interviewed well and that you thought she would be a good wife. You can't tell me that Chris was gonna be a good husband. So I think this season's a mess. Virginia and Eric are
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we done with them? Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next couple, Haley and Jacob. So my notes say that he's eating raw onions like they aren't supposed to kiss later on. It just adds to his lack of appeal. Even though I really like Jacob, the haircut is terrible. And the fact that he doesn't have any facial hair when his body obviously wants to have facial hair. You know what I'm saying? Like he has this 5 o'clock shadow thing happening and I'm sure he shaved that day. I feel like he needs to just let that kind of grow in and keep it low. And I think he needs to let the sides come in. You know what I'm saying? Give us a little something more because you're giving us weird in the face. You're giving us weird baby face. And then on top of the weird baby face thing, you are weird. You know, you're actually funny and quite personable, but it's quiet. So you don't really hear it all the time. And you know, so that throws me off. But anyway, I'm sorry, back to my notes. He's a get her done type of person. You know what I'm saying? I think he and Ryan have a lot in common as far as their personalities. I almost felt like I was watching the same person in different wrapping when they were talking about them, as far as how they work out every day, you know, and it's their schedule and they're so down to the schedule and all of this type of shit. The only thing about Jacob is his, you know, weird love of 80s things, which I don't really begrudge him because the 80s were like really awesome for like geeky shit. So like if you're a geek, you really should love things from the 80s, like the movies and the toys and the technology and the games. Like it is what it is. If you don't get it, then you just don't get it. But I'm a geek, so I kind of get it. But anyway, so it seems at first that his quirks are getting even more unattractive. They have like a romantic dinner in the aquarium, which is really dope. And I was like, oh my God, I want to do this. And he said that they watched the Goonies on the way there. So she doesn't hate his love of 80s shit because some of the movies from the 80s were classics. Goonies is one of them. It is what it is. And he always has something interesting to say, which is so much better than being with someone who kind of just sits there and doesn't have anything to say, like Henry. You know, even if it's weird, it's something funny and it's something that y'all can actually build a conversation on. Like, what kind of car would you really want? And he says a DeLorean. So then he has to explain that a DeLorean is from Back to the Future. And I was like, how do you not know that? Never mind. I'm sorry. I said I was a geek. But they have like a really cool conversation. And based on JayLees and Necey's reviews, okay, I am to believe that it seems as if she might be feeling him. I watched it and I missed that moment, but she does seem to smile and be less uncomfortable than the beginning. But I also haven't seen her actually say, yeah, I want to screw him. And that's what I'm looking for. So you guys tell me what you feel about these two.
I don't think she likes him still. I still don't think that she likes him at all. I'm just happy to hear him not talking about the beach and his sauna or whatever he done made in his house. And that's really all that I got for Haley and Jacob. Oh, I'll say this: she's not attracted to him. I don't know if it's that she's not attracted to him or she's not ready for marriage or both. But I'm not seeing the two. But I'll let you guys dive deeper on them.
I think she likes him, but only because they had those couple of dinners and they were talking. It seemed like before she doesn't say much. I still couldn't get a read or a vibe on her until this episode because it seems as if she's just listening to what he's saying and trying to figure out how she feel. And she wasn't talking much at all this episode, but him talking kind of made her talk a little bit. And I feel like this their interaction in the aquarium and also the other, I think that the breakfast scene too, where it was like not only was he talking, he was listening to her little she said, and it was like such random conversation about random things. And I feel like that's how you can kind of know somebody is to have the most random conversations about, oh, you know, this and that. And when they kiss in the aquarium, and she did say, like, I'm going to like him. I don't think she wants to fuck him just yet, but I do think she's seen why they were matched. And she gets he's real weird, but I think it's not a weird that she can't deal with. Because like you said, the 80s is really, really cool. It's not like he likes, you know, turtles or whatever. Like she can see that he can be fun. And I think if he see that she likes him, it may help him not be so geeky. Because he can pick up on how she is too. I think they can make it. Now he got a real strong face. His face got muscles. And I do think she have a beard. But I think if they just keep talking, they can probably really, really, you know, become a good couple. But our girl, them onions and I'm sticking eggs, I don't know.
I guess it's going to take time because it seemed like she only really warmed up to him when she saw the romantic side of him, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was that she was having fun. I think this time she was like, okay, I've been with you, you know, for 48 hours. I might as well make the most of this time. And then it wasn't until they kissed where I was like, okay, well, maybe she does like him. But part of me feels like she's definitely about to be hot and cold. I think she's getting in her head because she knows that she's not really attracted to him that way. So I think tonight she was pretty much like, let me participate, let me have an open mind. But I feel like she's gonna go in and out of like, I don't really like him. Okay, I'll give it a try. So if they make it, it'll be because she decides to stick with it and accept all his weird, quirky ways. Because I'm rooting for Jacob's weird ass. But I really don't know. It's a 50-50 chance for me on this one.
Okay, so let's move on to Brianna and Vincent, which
the favorites.
The favorite. Everybody loves them. Okay. So Brianna and Vincent start off the episode talking in bed, and his grandmother got sick and they thought his grandmother was like gonna die. So it was like a whole ordeal. And she was really there for him. So he really warmed up to her because she showed up for him in that way. Men love that shit. Okay. And they talk about where they want to live. And she showcases her bossy side by saying she wants to stay in a high rise. And, you know, she's probably a little bit more bougie than he is. And, you know, that might be a moment of contention, but I doubt it. They go to dinner. That's when we find out that they had sex. And I was like, yeah, okay. And they was real touchy feely this whole episode. So, you know, and he said it was like magic. I was like, bitch, it was like magic. Bitch, you had magic down there. All right, look, we here for that. We said it was black girl magic. Necey said it was black girl magic. We didn't know it was going to be magic like that. But, you know, we here for it, okay? Look, I tell y'all all the time, I'm a witchy bitch now, okay? I plays no games about these things. So everything is perfect between Brianna and Vincent, basically, especially when they put their relationship up to Chris and Paige's relationship. Now, before we get into them, I want everybody to give their opinion on Brianna and Vincent. Sound off.
I like them. Yeah, I like them. They give me Woody and Imani vibes. So when I say that, all I mean is on these shows, it be the couples who, when they have the wedding, they embrace it. They like each other or not, but they embrace the whole thing and not act as if, oh, this is a stranger, I don't know what to do. Like Imani and Woody to me was the first couple who you seen the connection instantly and you seen them take it serious. And I feel like Vincent and Brianna doing the same thing. And they can make it as long as they stay true. Like one of them said, like, we communicate right, we've been honest or whatever. If they stay in that whole niche of things, I do think they can be, you know, together forever. And they just, when he said at the table how, you know what I'm saying, I'm happy it happened so naturally, you know, how you comforted me with my grandma, like how he spoke to her was amazing. Even him saying like, she's my wife and I want to take care of her. Not that I have to, like I want to. And I think that's the best way to go into the show is you can't go into it thinking it's a stranger. You have to be like, you know, no, that's my husband. Let me start treating him or getting to know him so that I can go to love him versus keep acting as if stranger. I think they was like, you know what? We're going to do this. And that's why they banged it on out. I like them. I do.
I like them a lot. My only thing, well, two things. One, I love how they communicate and everything, but I also hope that he doesn't let her be too bossy or try to run over him, because she mentioned like she wanted to stay in a high rise, and then he was like, okay, like 2 years and then we can like have kids, whatever. She was like, what if it's 3 or whatever like that? But he didn't. He was like, yeah, that's cool too. So I don't want him to be a go along guy just to say that he has somebody. So we'll just see how that goes between the two. But I also would like to see how they really handle like conflict in their relationship. They have such great communication between each other right now, especially with it being the early stages. To me, it looks like they've been together for a minute and it's only been a few days. So I love that, but I wonder how their communication is going to be when they really have to deal with some, you know, serious conflict or whatever. But I
love them. Whenever I saw, before they really dug into the scene, whenever I saw him rubbing his toes up against her in the sand, I was like, oh yeah, they did it.
Yeah.
It happened. You got him rubbing his feet all up against you, being all soft.
Yeah, that's a real intimate, you know, kind of vibe they was given. Right. And I want to say that I am nervous about when he is tired of her being bossy and he does kind of have to like raise up on her. I'm nervous about what that energy will, because of what his people said. You know what I'm saying? So we need to see them in conflict at some point to see what that's really gonna be about. But I am nervous because the nice guys, when it take a lot for them to get there, but when they do get there, that shit can be scary sometimes. Okay, like, you know,
Yeah.
I eat nigga chewing in the back of the video. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on from there. Okay, because what we really here for is to talk about this shit, this situation between Paige and Chris, in which the episode starts off with a producer telling Chris that he has to be honest with Paige about something, and he doesn't want to tell her, and then he refuses to admit it, and you know that he's scared about telling. He's like, I'm not scared, but it's like, if you're not scared, then why don't you just tell her whatever this big secret is, right? He says he doesn't want to tell her what it is. Another producer comes up and asks what the damn problem is. And they explain, and they're like, so what, do you think you're just not going to be able to tell her forever? You're going to have to tell her eventually. And we see Paige kind of milling about in the hallway, looking confused and dumb, the way she will for the rest of the episode and probably for the rest of the damn season. Okay? So that's how the episode started off. They ate breakfast on some real awkward shit. And he tells her that he's got a lot of shit going on. And she's like, well, what do you mean? What's going on? And he's like, I found out some devastating news. And she's like, oh my God, what do you mean devastating news? Like, you can't just say you have devastating news and not tell me what it is. And he's like, it doesn't matter. It's like, it can't be both devastating and not matter at the same damn time. Those two things can't exist in the same space. Then he says, what time you want to hit up the pool, as if he was trying to change the subject and just throw it to the wayside. At this point, I want to hit him in the throat. She says, you don't want to share with your wife, and then I want to smack her, because it's like, bitch, you don't even know him. I understand that that is who you are to him, but please have some, you know, just some calm down about this shit, because you don't really know him like that. So the producers now interfere and say he needs to tell her, and she's confused and stressed the fuck out. Okay. This is the type of man that will have you losing weight and losing your hair and not eating, and your friends call and they like, girl, what's going on? And you like, nothing, girl. And they like, you need to leave him, girl. And you be like, no, it's okay. He's just going through a hard time right now. We working it out. Meanwhile, he over there dragging your ass around the house, cheating on you, talking to you crazy and everything else. He mad because the grits ain't soft enough. He mad because the bacon not crispy enough. The eggs too runny this morning. And then he leave the house for hours, don't answer the phone, come back with a fucking baby. Okay, so I'm sorry, but that's what Chris is giving. So he says he doesn't care if she wants to end the marriage at some point. He said that, okay? And she asked him why everyone else knows what's going on besides her, and that it's making her sick to her stomach, which it would anybody that was in this situation, right? So they go in the bathroom. He tells her to turn her mic off, okay? As if we're not going to figure this shit out eventually. But she turns the mic off, and we like, what the fuck is going on? I was real annoyed at this point because they hadn't told us yet, even though we all knew what was going on. But she comes out and says she's numb and she doesn't know what to do. She needs a moment. So they separate. She goes and talks to Brianna, and he goes and talks to Vincent. Brianna tells her to leave his ass alone and to think about herself. And that was great advice. And I'm glad that's the advice that she gave. That's not the advice that Paige is going to take, but it was still good advice. Vincent talks to Chris, and this is when we find out, and let me take them off the screen for a second. This is when we find out that not only did they have sex the first night and then that morning, but they had sex again on the second night and seemingly that morning. He didn't say that. It was the way he worded it that made me feel like they had sex that morning too. And plus her wig was shifted. And whenever the wig is slightly adrift, you've probably just gotten your shit, you know, knocked up against a pillow or something. So I just kind of feel like I'm trying to understand, are you attracted to her or are you not attracted to her? Because you're wearing her ass out to say you're not attracted to her, okay? For one. For two, I'm very confused on how long he has known that he had a baby. Because to me, it seems like Necey said, he knew when he left that first day. And now he's trying to play it off like he found out on the second day, okay? But he tells Vincent that he will want to make it work with his baby mother, but he's married to her. So I almost feel like he wanted her to leave, right? That's what it felt like. It felt like he wanted a way out. This was his way out. He was not attracted to her. You find out that your ex, who you still thinking about, is pregnant because you just had sex with her 6 weeks ago, because we found out that the bitch was pregnant, got pregnant by him 6 weeks ago. Her dad passed away. And so that's what he gave her in response for that. Some, you know, I don't know, some sad dick. I don't know. Like, what do you call it? Funeral dick? Like, what do you call that? Like, that's real, like, fuck boyish to be like, oh, you feel bad? Let me fuck you in the bathroom at your dad's funeral. Sadly enough, I would probably have done something like that. Anyway, so he says that he's trying to figure out what he's going to do based off of what Paige is thinking. And he wants to work through it. But if he was Paige, he wouldn't. And child, I was just like, oh my gosh, he's actually saying that he wouldn't work it out. So that even more so makes you think he doesn't want to be with her. So they go to dinner. He gives her details on the time frame. Oh, girl is 6 weeks pregnant. He apologizes to her for hitting her in the puss twice in 3 days. Once telling her he's not attracted to her. And then the second time telling her he got a baby by the bitch that he was with right before her. Okay, but says he wants to work it out. I said, you want to work it out? I thought you was trying to find a way out. You had your way out, and now you sitting up here in this girl's face, which makes him so much more of a dog-ass dude. You sitting up here telling this girl that if you leave, I chase you, which you know is what that bitch want to hear, because all of us crazy bitches want to hear that shit. We love that crazy shit. We love y'all to tell us you're not giving us a choice. Now, we don't want to end up on the episode of Fatal Attraction or For My Man or something like that, but at the end of the day, we love this energy of, you know, it's a possibility you might not give me a choice of whether I'm going to leave or not. Like, we love that shit. We love that toxic shit, okay? And that's exactly what she's into. And I'm mad at her, but at the same time, I understand her. I'm mad because I feel like he's not giving you anything. It'd be different if he was attracted to you. It'd be different if y'all were actually really feeling each other. But it started off with him telling you he didn't even feel like he was really attracted to you. So holding on, shout out to LTD in Jeffrey and them. This is not the way. This is not the way. But she said, y'all, this is God's higher purpose. I'm like, please stop blaming this dumb shit on the Lord. Yes. The Lord said, I said he wasn't the one, bitch. I told you that when he said he wasn't attracted to you and you wasn't really feeling him. Remember all of that shit? And then I showed your homegirls that he wasn't the one. You remember all that shit? And then after he fucked you and told you that he wasn't attracted to you, I showed you that time. And now I'm telling you that the bitch he was with before you is pregnant. And you telling me that all of this is a sign that I want you to be with him?
Yeah.
The law said keep me out of this bullshit. Y'all go ahead and tell me how y'all feel.
I'm glad you brought up religion because I feel like that's what she's using and her God to keep her in this situation. He's definitely not attracted to her at all. She is his fallback plan, in my opinion. That's why he's keeping her around. And he's a sex addict and he's a manipulator and he wants to be with her for control. He wants to control her mind and everything. And she's just, and like the girl, honestly, she got it going on. She's an accountant. She's level-headed. Like, she's intelligent. He knows that's what he really should be with. But she over here acting like Danny from Sistas. And like, she just got to be with Gary. And I'm not understanding. Like, ma'am, you're so intelligent. Okay, you're so intelligent. You're so smart. This man, why would you want to continue in a marriage with a man that just left a woman that he was just engaged to, only to get her pregnant? What was it, at her dad's funeral or whatever or something? Like, I mean, it's just, it doesn't add up. And I'm just, and she just in here just, I don't know. Y'all see I'm at a loss for words because it's just not adding up for me. Like, why would you continue to allow yourself to be in this position? He ain't even no looker like that. He ain't even really got it going on
at all.
He sat there and talked to all. Man. He sounds like he was in between jobs anyway. But you got it going on. You're clear about what you're doing, where you at. I'm an accountant. I got this and that going on. He like, well, I'm in real estate. Well, I just started that and I'm doing this and that. And it's like, basically, bro, man, you ain't got no job. You ain't really doing nothing. You Tommy. That's basically what you're trying to tell us. Like, y'all can go, but it's not making any sense. And she's just too educated to be sitting up here with this nut bag.
Thank you, Quaisha, for the super chat. I appreciate you, love. One of my members. Okay, love you. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to cut y'all off like that. Continue on. I just want us to we trying to keep this tight. It might go over the 2 hours because we still have to talk about this last scene when all the couples find out about Chris and Paige. But go ahead, whoever else.
Sure. So at the beginning, I think that Chris decided that he didn't want to tell her because he's not really committed to this for the long haul. So he's thinking like, this is an 8-week assignment. It don't matter if I tell you or if I don't tell you, because I got to decide if I really want to be with you or not. And at the rate that it's going, he don't want to be with her. So he's like, why am I even bringing this up on TV? And a lot of people was coming on me. Well, not a lot of people, only a few foolish people was coming at me saying I was coming too hard on Paige. And I just really hate that her insecurities are popping out, because one thing we know is like a fuckboy is just gonna fuckboy, right? How long do y'all want me to go in on Chris every single episode? At some point in time, you got to be held responsible for what you want to do. It really sent me whenever Paige said, I was damn near a stepmom in my last relationship. Girl, what?
Girl, cut the cameras.
You want us to know your business? When she said that, I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, Chris, I'm rooting for you. String the girl out. Do what you got to do.
Okay.
You know, for me, I feel like Chris and Paige are both idiots and they're a perfect match for each other. I think the fact that from the moment we seen Chris, he showed us he wasn't the one. And I think when Paige said to her friends at the reception, I don't feel a connection. There's some, like she felt it in her own spirit that it wasn't right. I feel like now God brought us together and don't bring Jesus in this. I'm like, she blaming God, Chris blaming the ex-girlfriend's dead daddy. Leave people in heaven out of y'all bullshit, because none of them is the reason that any of this is happening. You went and fucked that girl while her daddy died. Don't have nothing to do with the fact that she's pregnant now. The fact that she's 6 weeks pregnant. Y'all took 2 weeks to get married. She's 11. It took 2 weeks to get married. It's like he was still actively fucking somebody else while on the show looking for a wife. Like, who does that? And I'm like, the fact that she is so smart, because when she's talking to him and when she said, why you crying? Like, she knew he was on some fuck shit. How she said, why you crying meant you on some fuck shit. So she know fuck boy tendencies. So I don't understand how she then gets dumbified into thinking he's making sense. We should stay together. She went to that damn dinner and she was pissed. She was pissed. And then because he told her, I want to be with you, girl. You the one for me, girl. You over everybody. Because he told you over his new bastard baby, that makes him fuckable. She looked at him as I hate you, and it turned into I want to fuck you again.
Yeah.
Based on him saying, I want to be with you. I'm gonna chase
and
you.
You would be first.
I said, bitch, is you dumb? You too smart to be dumb. I was so pissed that she went from being mad to wanting to fuck. You can't tell me she fucked that man. And Chris know how to talk to her, which is crazy because he don't even know that lady. But he know
girls like her.
Yep,
and he talked her into forgiving him. How did your new husband get you to forgive him and work things out within a day or so of you finding out he was actively fucking his ex-fiance 6 weeks ago? So raw, no condom, because she's pregnant. That wasn't a condom, bro, baby. That's I'm not fucking with no condom, because like he asked Paige, are you on birth control? I don't like having sex with condoms. Is he clean? Is his dick dirty? Does it think he don't even know that? Karen, Paige is just as much at fault and staying in this as Chris is putting her in the situation, because she ain't leaving. I would have already, the minute he told me in the bathroom with the water running, the shower running, the tub running, running all the water in the bathroom.
Running, bitch.
I gotta go. I'm out. I'm done. She is just as stupid as he is at this point, because she ain't leaving. Just dumb.
Yeah, she not.
On our screen looking dumb. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to this last scene, okay? And I'm gonna just give y'all a little breakdown right quick and we'll jump in, okay? So the couples meet up, they discuss who is happy and who isn't, and we already know what it is, okay? Everybody but Paige and Chris. Jacob and Haley are doing well, to everybody's surprise. Paige makes Chris be honest with the group, because it seems like at first he wasn't going to say anything, but to me a little bit of her passive aggressiveness was her putting him on Front Street about the shit, because we ain't about to sit here looking funny. Everybody's going to eventually read the energy and find out anyway. We're on a fucking reality show. Just tell everybody what's going on, okay? And then he calls it disturbing news, and she's like, can we use another word, like, you know, surprising? So the fact that she already has more humanity for your unborn child than you do is just so sad. That's just like really sad. And so then he tells them that his ex-girlfriend is pregnant and Clara is pissed. Okay. And she was like, Stockholm syndrome, man. I'm like, that's not the right word, but we understand what you mean. You know, something wrong with the bitch. Okay. But they just show support for Paige. They don't show support for Chris. Chris clocks this and gets upset. And I'm like, the audacity of you to get upset that people are upset with you for bringing this shit show to the show. You were supposed to come here clean like everybody else. And you showed up not only with a fiance, an ex-fiance in the bag, but now a baby mother. And on top of the fact that you extra, you've only been worried about the woman's looks this entire time. You've been on 10 this entire time as far as what you've been giving. So everybody is probably a little bit like, damn, ain't you tired of being, you know, the stupid mother in the room? Like, ain't you tired of that a little bit? Okay. Virginia and Eric, they get there probably after smashing. I don't care. It seemed like they was drinking and smashing before they rolled up on everybody. Okay. They don't know what's going on. So they reading the energy and realizing that somebody's energy is a bit off. Hey, buddy, what's going on? Is everything okay, Chris? Chris doesn't want to share. He doesn't want to go through this again, but he knows he has to because somebody's going to say the shit. So he might as well. Listen, the best thing everybody can do for us is just to, you know, like just give us our privacy during this time. And I'm like, you going to stop acting like you a celebrity responding to a divorce rumor. Like you really going to stop acting like it's on that level, because it's not. At the end of the day, you are on this show, and part of being on this show is spilling your tea. So spill your tea. Okay, I don't care if you got to spill it twice, spill it again. Okay, because you're going to spill it again a whole bunch of times on reunions and any other time you talk about this shit. So he says that everybody else is happy and they're not. I forgot about that part. I don't want to skip over the part where he left and walked away and cried like a little bitch. And then
on the couch. Oh, God.
Paige had to go and gather him and bring him back. And that's when Virginia and Eric came back with the drunkenness and the questions. And Virginia had real questions. Are you sure the baby is yours? Those were good questions. Okay. And, you know, Chris, I feel like Chris was on one already. So any questions they asked would have bothered him. Yep. But I do feel like they were prying. And they should have been reading the room, but I think they were too drunk to read the room. I think they didn't know that they needed to be sober for this shit. They thought everybody was going to sit down and talk about how fun everything has been and how great everything has been. And we're going to compare our relationship to everybody else and it's going to be fine. But oh no, we show up and this nigga in his forehead has told us that he got this girl pregnant. And then he's mad. He's mad at everybody for being more sympathetic to Paige than him, but then he's upset that Paige isn't happy, that they aren't happy, that he isn't as attracted to Paige as everybody else seems to be attracted to their old lady. I definitely noticed that as well. So it's just so many things to dislike about Chris that I couldn't even really be mad at Virginia and Eric, because it's like, my dude, like, you the one that brought this here. This shit is out of pocket, and everybody is being extra calm about it because they're not drunk. The two people that are a little tipsy right now, they don't have the wherewithal to put up the walls to pretend like this isn't fucked up. They don't have the energy for that. So they just asking questions out of pure amazement at this fucked up situation. Y'all,
I think his issue was that
Go ahead. I'm over it.
2 ways. I think Chris being a new father, that can't be scary. I'll give him that. You can't be scared to be a new father. Boom. I'll give him that. I think Virginia and Eric came in, and I do feel like the way they were asking the questions, I can see why Chris got upset because he was probably already in a fucked up mood. I do think if I don't know someone like that, I wouldn't ask those questions. I would have asked those questions to Paige separately without Chris. Because Chris already seemed like he was in a fucked up mood. I think the ladies went and talked separately and she asked her those questions. And maybe if Eric asked Chris some questions separately, it may not have been as heated as it seemed in that moment. They were sitting too close. It was a lot going on, but I feel like that's stuff we wanted to know. Are you sure it's your baby? How do you know she's really pregnant? Like, you got 9 months to figure it out. I just feel like it was the way they asked the questions that pissed Chris off, but we wanted to know the answers. I wish they would have just separated them and said, you know what, y'all go talk to her, talk to him, and I think we could have got more answers that way. Chris feelings is hurt, but I'm like, bruh, all this is because whoever you married, it would have been the same issue. This, you brought this to the show. You had to sit in it and eat it because you on the show. You knew you fucked her 6 weeks ago. And I feel like had she not been pregnant, we'd not have her up and he was still actively fucking that girl while in this process. That's how we know Chris is a fucked up person.
Absolutely. I also I don't care how they ask the questions in a sense. Some part of me feel like that's what you get. You sat up here and have been giving this lady hell since y'all have been married. So now you get to feel a little bit, just an ounce of how she has been feeling. I don't care how Chris feels about that whole situation. That's really all I got. Go cry in another corner, honey.
Y'all know, it really took me out whenever Eric was like, what's going on, buddy? Like Bobby said, when Eric said that, I died laughing because it just seemed to me so typical of just a white dude. Like, what's going on? Y'all both drunk. This is drunk Eric. And then he also said, if that's what you want right there, buddy, if that's what you want right there, when that's not what he want right there, he don't want Paige. And then whenever he ran off crying, he said, I don't feel like being bothered. I think that he does this whole complimentary thing, I want you thing with Paige because he wants to do whatever he thinks makes him look best in the end. So I think he buttered her up at that dinner so that way they can get in front of the group. And if it came up, they would be a united front. And he wants to do whatever he thinks is the most honorable, I'm saying like in a way that him and his dad know the word honorable and gentleman because obviously it's not the same. But yeah, I just think, I don't really care how Virginia and Eric asked the question at all. It was a valid question. And somebody left a really good comment. I saw a body highlighted from Naya. She said that Chris was getting offended because he doesn't want them questioning his ex like that if he still has feelings for her. And I completely agree. I think he was more so offended. He was a little bit offended even whenever Vincent said, are you sure it's yours? And he was like, yeah, like for sure.
Meaning who else would she sleep with besides me? Like, don't put her out there. And then he actually said how I feel like I'm stuck in this marriage and I'm also stuck having a kid. I can't get out of either situation. But I'm like, how are you stuck in a marriage and you telling Paige if she leaves, you gonna chase her? Which one is it? Are you stuck or do you want to be free? It's like he just wants the easiest out to make him look innocent. So like if Paige leaves him, she left him. He don't want to leave her because then he looks like an asshole. But I'm like, but you an asshole.
It's like he don't want to hurt her feelings, but he is so rude. You've already hurt her feelings. So you saying if she don't leave, you'll
multiple times,
it still be okay. Like just go. Like I hate when people get in situations, effed up situations, and then they wait for the other person to make a decision as if they don't have the right to make that decision themselves.
Right.
Like, save
it's
her.
like if she's not the responsibility away from them so that they don't have to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
And it's really bullshit because you're already the bad guy. He's giving Martell Holt Jr. vibes. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We need to add that to the list because I feel like
cheat on you and not want you to divorce me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He definitely gonna cheat on her. This is his fiance of a few weeks. Then he gets her pregnant. And if you think once this baby come, he not gonna cheat on you with her, you're a fool.
Because she asked him if he wanted to be with her, and when he then said, well, it doesn't matter because you're my wife. I'm like, no, it fucking matters.
No.
Like, it matters if you want to be with her.
And what's
it don't matter
him
if she's his fallback plan.
Exactly.
Right.
What's behind him saying, you're my wife, it's not him wanting to be a husband. It's his own self-interest. Whenever he's saying, you're my wife, it's almost like, well, I have to do this because you're my wife. Not like, oh, you're my wife, I want to honor you, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's not that at all.
No. And another thing is that I feel like he sees that she wants to be the perfect wife so badly that he feels like at the end of the day, if I am stuck with her, she'll do whatever I want her to do. She'll show up in the world however I want her to show up. She's going to do whatever I want her to do because she's trying to keep me. So I think he sees that and there's value in that, which is why he's still fucking her, because he's trying to still create the attachment. Because once you give out good toxic dick, bitch are, they gotta have you. They're fighting for you. I need this good toxic dick. So
just know what to do.
I feel like she's really in that space with this, and that's unfortunate because I think she has so much to offer the right person. And I think everybody else feeling like she should leave him alone. I feel like somebody should have said that shit in front of him when they were all sitting there. It probably would have been my ignorant ass. Like, I'd have been a couple that have been like, well, I think you should leave his fucking ass. But it's not my business.
Clara tried to say that like we're supporting you. Didn't Clara kind of allude to that without saying it though? Like, girl, if you want to leave, like, you say what you want.
They all called her.
They all kind of like supported her, meaning if you leave him, we got you.
Yeah.
So if you gonna leave him, we got you.
And I hope she know he gonna fuck that ex. Just saying.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Vincent,
what?
Vincent is the that's the the Spanish guy, right? The black boy with the beard. I loved how when they sat down and talked, and he was able. How is he not even in this situation able to sympathize with how this woman would feel? He was like, if this was me, like if I just thinking about her feelings or whatever, I would feel like X. It's like, how can he identify and you can't? Like, he was so trash.
Because Chris did not even feel any kind of way about how he made Paige feel. Like, he had no care about how hurt she was when he said she's having a moment. I'm like, no, bitch, you put her in a moment to have. Like, he just didn't care how she felt. He never told
that's
her.
Not a husband.
It's not. She definitely gives the vibe of the wife that's going to drink or drug herself into submission. Like, this is killing me to go through this, but I want this so bad that I'm going to drink my little wine and take my little Xanax and act like it's not really bothering me. Like, I think she seems like that type of person. That whole, I go into this place where I'm tapped out and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say, and then she waits for him to pull her in whichever direction, and because that's what she really wants. She wants to be a wife. She's a wife now, and I don't know why she thinks God would put this much adversity in front of her, but I want to remind her that you actively sought out a reality show that marries you with someone who you do not know. You have some responsibility in why this is happening. This is not all God. It's not all serendipitous. And if it is, it probably is more so along the lines of you needing to learn to have more self-confidence and care more about the quality of the man instead of just caring about having any old piece of man. Okay? Exactly. This is not Betty Wright. This is not the fucking 80s. You need to be in 2021. Get, step your pussy up. I'm sorry, but, step your pussy up, bitch, and realize who you are and that you deserve better. And if this show couldn't give you a viable suitor, then there's somebody out there that's better than this. Like, what?
Like, that's the evil devil and shit.
It was like she hopped in this because obviously she was tired of crying at night for being alone, but now you're about to have a man in this marriage and you still gonna be alone. And then I need her to stop trying to equate everything to God, because one thing about God, he's not a God of confusion. It's not gonna be no confusion about how I should move or what. It's gonna be very clear cut and dry, like, this is what it is. So if you gotta go through all these mazes, that's not what God doesn't want that for us. He's not gonna want us to have to go through all these hoops and this and that and ups and downs with our emotions. See, that's not what he wants. And if you, a person that says that you're into the Bible and Jesus, this and that, and you can't identify that, baby girl, you already lost.
Yep. Because they both keep blaming, I'm like, God did not put y'all together. The producers did. And God did not help this come. Sometimes the devil will really put mess in your life. So realize mistakes ain't always God. God can sometimes make you sit down sometimes, yes, but he not going to put you on a dumbass show with an asshole who is fucking his ex-fiance. Don't put that on God. And when you do, it make me feel as if you looking for a reason to stay. Let me say God did it. It was no, it's not. That's not my God.
God is God trying to tell you something, which is that you need to step your cookies up before they crumble and stop being so thirsty. Hello? Shout out to Nick. Yes. Like it is what it is, bitch. Like you thirsty and you've been thirsty, and that's the problem. And this whole thing about finding a man of God is really about trying to find a man who you believe is so, in the church that he won't hurt you, that he won't show up as a hoe. And what I need for you to know is that there is no such thing. Most of the men in the church are hoes. So this whole idea that that's where you're going to find somebody that's not a hoe, that's not going to dog you, you're looking in the wrong place, because evidence shows us the gray one, okay, and all of the rest of them, Jamal, all the rest of them, we have been able to see that men who can administer that word also like to administer that dick, okay? So I need everybody to catch what's going on around you and stop being like swayed in the wind, like you're not a woman standing on your own 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a good look.
She's brainwashing herself.
So doing sad. It to herself.
She's brainwashing
Pola tink tink.
Child. Well, listen. Is there anything anybody would like to add about Love and Hip Hop, the family reunion, before we end the show for tonight? Because somebody did ask about that. I've already done a review. It ain't really much. I'ma just say I'm probably more excited to see everybody than the rest of everybody is probably.
No, I was excited. I was like, oh my God, because we've never seen them all together. So for me to not see any of them for damn near a year, to then see them all together, for me, I'm happy this is how it came back versus one season or one city. Seeing them all together was amazing. Yeah. Even a little bit of the mess is gonna come, I don't mind it. I like that they brought the kids, but kids who would be, would add to the season. I was thinking like, why they bring these people per se? And I'm like, they brought cast who could get along, can fuss and argue, but won't fist fight. I think had you added other people, it could have got a little bit more, fighting or whatever, or a little bit boring. And they brought the nucleus kind of from each city.
True. But I would have liked to have seen that I didn't see. I would have liked to have seen Peter, Amina, and Tara.
Yeah, that's a big miss.
That would be because we don't get his dick. I think, Golden Dick Peter has been I think they've been so far removed. I wonder what could they give us now that because like, are they still a threesome of like, I do wonder like what's going on with them now.
I think Tara, I don't know about Tara. I think Amina is over it, but something makes me feel like Tara always leaves that door open.
Well, yeah, like her cooch is open. I would have liked to have seen
this comment.
So Chris is coming on Clubhouse trying to dodge questions. Chris who?
I guess Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight.
He can't dodge shit.
They're probably asking if the subway is open.
He gonna say they're closed.
I think he might be the one that's $100,000 in debt, not her, him.
Yeah, that's why he was scared when she said she was an accountant.
Because he can get the money together.
What is this? Where'd you spend this? What's this? What's happening?
Right.
Exactly. You don't know about money you spending on another bitch. Excuse me, sir.
And he probably can't answer questions based on the season. I think people forget that they can't answer certain stuff based on the season because they don't want to give the show away. So even him dodging could just mean like contractually, I can't answer these questions because it may play out on the show. Because I think they get in trouble if they, reveal stuff too soon. But I mean. Yeah, but for Love and Hip Hop, I do wonder because I kept seeing Rashida in them and Delicious in them. I kept seeing them somewhere in Arizona. I feel like there's another show that will probably premiere after this 6 episode series because I'm like, where did that footage go? Because not seeing Rashida and Kurt.
It's supposed to be a relationship show. It's supposed to be like helping them with your relationships, right?
But wasn't that the one that came on last Monday that I didn't watch?
No, that was just like a little let's play games and ask questions. There's a show that's supposed to be like a therapy type of situation for some of the couples. So I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I'm like, Rashida and them was in Arizona, and it looked like they were at the same kind of resort type thing that they are at now. So I'm like, well, damn, if they don't here, it must be another show that's gonna come out that will show what they was doing. But I think that's smart. I think the way of having the different seasons has kind of played its way out because again, it's usually made up stuff. So if they can do these where they have the groups come together for different things, I think that's cool because the whole pajama party, the guys. Doing whatever. I even Judy and Mama D, crazy asses. Like, I like it. I was happy to have it back.
Me too. I would actually, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. I would like for them to work their way into getting back into like a regular schedule for different cities. But I also feel like maybe there needs to be like a whole new casting situation. If for upcoming shows, or maybe even in different places. Like maybe I can take this shit to Texas because I feel like they got some ignorant ass people in Texas that we haven't seen. So
no, they tried and the fight broke out. I think it was in some fight broke out and they had to stop production. Whoever it was, maybe like I remember hearing that they was like
not being able to deal with fight. Like y'all know it's gonna happen.
No, I think it was like some serious happened.
Production or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And they was like, oh, we're not gonna do that. We don't do guns. And that's what happened with the Houston show. Because I think Houston was right after the first season of Miami. Either right after, right before. And then it was like, okay, I got guns. We're not doing that. You can fight with glasses and plastic cups. Don't bring no guns.
That's how I feel about New Orleans. We can't have no show out here because somebody going to end up getting killed.
New Orleans.
We do too much down here. But is there anything else y'all would like to add about Love and Hip Hop before we go?
I was just glad to see Mama D. I could have missed Paris. I wasn't interested in really having Paris on the show. I just don't like Paris energy.
I miss Mama D too, girl. And the way she was flirting with Trick Daddy, I was dying laughing. Like,
can I call you Daddy? I said, oh, not Mama D and Trick. Oh God.
You saying that the show was good out and swallow him whole.
The show was good for the most part. I love to see how Sierra and Carly resolve their issue without all they hollering and yelling and everything. Everybody, well, Yandy pretty much skipped over her. She really wanted to deal with it because she know Mendici's mama gonna always be an issue. And then you get over here to Scrappy them. Mama D was wrong, but I didn't like Scrap's response in this because I just felt like, okay, you over here mad at your mama for telling your business. Everybody don't know, but they really about to know. Like you over here getting loud with your mama, they really finna know what's going on. So I mean, it was a great. It was good.
I think it was good. So I actually enjoyed it. And I think that the issue with Scrappy is just what Bambi was saying. He's immature. Like, why are you getting that upset? But I did love his onesie because a bitch is a fan of the Nightmare Before Christmas, and he had the Jack Nightmare Before Christmas onesie on, and I was like, man, that would be so fire if I could find like the female version of that one. But I loved him for that because I'm a fan, and also because like I love Scrappy. So before he had did all that, I was really happy to see the young Merlot. Okay. But yeah, y'all, we'll be doing this weekly. We'll be doing this every Thursday at 8 p.m. Okay, it might, Central Time. It might move depending on what's going on. But for sure, we're gonna be here talking about Married at First Sight, Sistas, and whatever else we feel like talking about. So make sure y'all watching those two shows specifically. Okay, and it will be on JayLees channel next week. So if you want to see the review, you want to come back and talk to the Ladies First panel again, make sure you subscribe to Necey's, JayLees, Jami's, and my channel so that you will see whenever the next video posts, because it will be moving throughout all of us, as the weeks go by. We will be taking turns. Okay, so I love you guys so much. I appreciate y'all coming on to do this. I'm excited, and I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and do y'all little send-offs and tell people where to find y'all.
Yeah, I'll go first since I'm up top. This was fun, first of all. It feels like it was something we should have been doing, but I feel like this was the perfect time to do it. We got the best shows to talk about. So yeah, thank you for hosting us, Bondi. I love y'all. Yeah, other than that, super fun. Y'all know where to find me. Instagram, Necey Dixon. Twitter. I feel like people be sleep on Twitter. But if y'all want to see what I think about the TV shows before I even post a review, follow me on Twitter because that's all I tweet about. And I said Instagram, YouTube, Necey Dixon, all that.
All right. Yeah, I had a really, really good time. This was great. I was concerned, like, I'm not gonna have a lot to say about Married at First Sight or whatever, but this was really fun. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Bondi, thanks for sharing your channel. I'm looking forward to this now every Thursday on whoever channel. But yeah, so just make sure y'all come on back and check us out, and don't forget to follow us. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, as well as YouTube. Everything is Jami. That's me.
So I had a great time too. I was telling Bonnie how I had an idea about it and didn't want to bother nobody. And then she was like, what about it? I was like, girl, I had the same idea. So it really did come at the perfect time for us all. You know, I think YouTube it's been hard to collaborate the right way. And StreamYard has kind of helped us all be able to come together and like chit chat or whatever. So I'm happy about this. And every Thursday will be fun. So I am on IG and Twitter at J_Lees_ Corner, and then on here to JayLees Corner. So again, you know, follow us all. Follow all of us on Twitter, on IG, and on YouTube. You have to follow us all. We are a group. Okay.
Listen. Ooh, ladies first. Before we go, because they asked about this, do y'all want to just give a little quick, quip about April and Dr. Dre?
She fucking that man ASAP for the money. You know,
right.
That's what I think.
Right.
Because there's no reason for them to be on a dinner date. Like, they not even in the same field. Like, she dated somebody from B2K, but she's not in the music business or whatever. And he's not going to be on Love and Hip Hop. And, you know, I don't see a reason for them going to dinner unless they smashing. Or they want to be in the news for something.
They're definitely smashing. I'm trying to figure out if Dr. Dre wants a heart attack or not. Like, you old and your ass already been at the hospital. You just got out. I'm surprised you walking around regular and shit. Not only are you putting yourself in harm's way, going out in the world during a pandemic after what you've been through, but now you showing up with, soul snatching April. I just kind of feel like I'm not mad at April for being about her bag. She looked amazing, and she's definitely playing up her type. She's a type. She's an exotic looking, model pretty bitch. And dudes love girls like that to play on their arm. But eventually they get tired of them because those bitches are always like messed up in some type of mental or emotional way because they haven't really relied on anything other than their looks for most of their lives. And we've already seen this from April. April, and then she fucked Lil Fizz during the taping of this show. So, she just out here doing her little, thought thing. And I ain't mad at her. Bitch, live your best life.
Right. Dre has a type. I think when he left the last girl before his current about to be ex-wife, he's always got like a younger, because his ex-wife back then to me looks like what April looks like now. So I think he's just doing the same thing again that he did 20 years ago when he got with the current wife who about to be the ex-wife, because he was messing with her behind his ex's back. So I think he's a
hoe
doing a circle. Yeah.
Yeah, I think April wearing that lace bra with the nipples out told us everything we need to know.
Exactly. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at her either. I'm not mad at her. Do your thing, girl. She's trying to follow Lori. She's trying to be like her girl Lori, so do the best you can, honey.
If these old dudes can be tricked, then let them be tricked off. Okay, like, we not mad at the girls for getting their paper however they gotta get it. He got all that money. What are you gonna do with it? You ain't gonna die with it all, and he damn sure ain't about to give it all to the ex-wife or all of the kids who he's estranged from. So, at the end of the day, I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? But it is weird looking, and I don't think it's anything that will last. But it was just weird to see them like coupled up, meeting up and shit. It was just kind of like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, on some,
it'll be over in like a couple months. It'll be done in a couple months. It'll be over.
How while lasted? All right, y'all. So we done. That's all we got about it. Wait, Jami, were you gonna say anything else or?
Oh no, I had nothing to say.
Okay, Necey, we good? Everybody's good? Okay. So thank y'all so much for joining us. You can find the links to everybody's channels down below. Please join us next week. Same time, different channel, JayLees channel. Okay, so make sure you subscribe to her. We'll see y'all in the next one. Catch the playback. And I love you guys. Have a good night.
Love you.
Bye, y'all.